Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 63, your weekly dose of Open StarCraft. I'm of course just VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all to catch-up month. We got a lot of catching up to do, Pappy. Again, I do apologize, but throughout the month of January, we were unavailable. There were things happening IRL, so we didn't have as much free time to cast and to cover StarCraft. Now we're here to catch up on those tournaments, on the games that did take place. Again, we just finished catching up with Rongi Cup last night, and we are catching up with Thunderfire this weekend. Speaking of things to catch up on, PiGosaur Cup. We missed out on like 4 weeks, like 4, maybe even 5 weeks of PiGosaur Cup. So we got a lot of PiGosaur Cups to catch up on. We of course did live cast PiGosaur Cup 67 this week, but now we have to catch up with 63, 4, 5, and 6. We'll be doing so over the next month. We'll be doing so whenever we have some free time to kind of slide in or slip in a cast. Then we'll be able to catch up with those PiGosaur Cup matches. Likewise, we'll also have to catch up with Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup was over the weekend, and next week we will begin our Home Story Cup 28 coverage. We'll get there as well. We will get there. But bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Bienvenidos, hope you're all doing well. Did notice in the chat someone asking about the event, but yes, this tournament is sponsored by Pig, El Chanchito. Pig does sponsor the event, and Stegosaurus does run, organize, and also helps fund the event as well. Before this tournament was called PiGosaur Cup, it was called Stegosaurus Cup, and even before that, it was the Ursasaurus Cup. So much love to Stegosaurus, as he has been very passionate, has been running and organizing the event from the beginning. Likewise, putting up his own prize money as well. It is a little bit more recent that Pig did step in to help sponsor and help provide for the prize money and step in as the main sponsor of PiGosaur Cup as well. So great to see. Again, a lot of love for the scene, for the community. Pig and Stegosaurus, as they fund this event, this is kind of the more NA, kind of the NA friendly Open Cup that we have. We of course cover the more Korean friendly events, as we do host and organize the Tuna Cups, and then we have Monday Night Weeklies, which is more European friendly, and then we have the Wardy TV Monday as well, which is the day after for also like the more Korean. It's actually a little bit more European friendly, I should say, as it's later in the night. But we have our weeklies. We've been running them for over a year at this point, and now we have our first matchup of the broadcast. Now, bearing in mind, because this is a replay cast, we are limited to the replays we have available to us. Let's head on over here to the bracket. Let's catch up on what has been going on and where exactly we are. From the top, we have a Clem. Clem on. He did take down a Solar in the upper semifinals. Bearing in mind, this is something unique about this Open Cup, is that the semifinals are best of 5s, not best of 3s. So Clem, he took down Shane 2-0, he took down Solar 3-1, and Clem is waiting in the grand finals, and we will eventually get there. We're going to be catching up with the initial quarterfinals match, MaxPax versus Cure. We're going to be following that into herO, and then following that into Clem in those finals. Let's go. When it comes to other matches that did occur, of course, Solar did take down Bjorn 2-1. Big win there for Solar. Bjorn has been struggling that much more as of late. Again, we've been covering his struggles against Percival in TVT time and time again. So Bjorn has been struggling a little bit more, but we'll see. I mean, we'll eventually be catching up with that in the coming days. It's actually been a while since we've casted Bjorn. We'll get there. But now the MaxPax versus Cure is going to be our first series of the broadcast. Game 1 is going to be on Winter Madness. Let's go. Let us go. It's going to be a quarterfinals best of 3. Coming into this... Coming into this, of course, MaxPax is typically one of the more favored players. He has some killer PvT, but likewise, I have to say the same about our Terran player as well. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, from the land of Denmark, representing Slashstone Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. We have our PvT, and again, PvT has been kind of being molded and shaped over time over the past couple of weeks. Ever since the new patch did hit, we have seen some more diverse play and players be a little bit more exploratory as well. We have seen a lot of players embrace kind of like the mid to late game, especially in TVP. We have seen a lot of Terran players have a lot of success with that, but that also does rely on the map itself. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool, longer rushes and spy ground. I will say that it's a little bit more defendable control, it's easier to get up to 4 bases, and that usually does favor the Terran player being able to get up to that base count. But on the flip side, if the Terran player fails to gain map control, fails to gain momentum, if the Protoss can take over the map, mass expand, then it can be so difficult for the Terran to gain any kind of control of the map, to take a 5th base, to have any kind of map presence either. So we'll see. We'll see how we get there. We'll see how our players do approach. For now, economic opener. Economic start, we have a single gas geyser out of Cure, going for a Rax expand, so economic start out of our Terran. Likewise, MaxPax, being as annoying as possible, does force down a second SCV to delay the CC, just to disrupt, just to get some more efficiency here out of his scout. As there's that CC. Was delayed by a couple of seconds. Ooh, meanwhile, we have the tech lab on top of this. Okay, so the goal here is Cure. He's going for an economic greedy build. He wants MaxPax to try to punish, and we do have a Zealot already on the way. So MaxPax, he's rallying across the map to try to punish and deny the CC. Meanwhile, Cure, the trap has been set. He's going into Concussive Shell Marauders. The goal here, especially with Concussive Shell, this ability does allow the Marauders to slow units that they do hit. So the goal is to catch out, not necessarily the Zealot, to catch out the Adept. The Adept, the gateway unit, the Cybercore base units to follow up here. Ideally, we do want to catch it, shut it down, and punish MaxPax for being overly aggressive. As the Adept is on the way. And we'll see what kind of PiGosaur Cure can find. Behind this, going for a 3 Rax follow-up. Okay, yo, it's 2020 all over again. Let's go. It's been too long. Marauders revealed. So now MaxPax is aware. Zealot does delay the CC. So nice delay here as the Zealot is going to be focused down. One more shot. Ooh, kills the SCV. And the Adept even shades away. Just barely. Whew, just barely shades away. So nice PiGosaur here by MaxPax. He delays the command center twice now. So a big delay here on the CC. But he fails to scout the follow-up. We'll get there. Marauders, they do move out, trying to catch out set depths. Commits to the shade. And kills another SCV. Gets one more. Still a delay. So we have a bit of a give and take here. I mean, we are losing Adepts, true. So that's going to be 2 Adepts going down and a Zealot. But again, does delay the command center. The scariest part, though, is behind this, the 3 rack stim timing. Again, a very aggressive. Sorry, did I say 3 racks? 4 racks. Oh my god. 2 base all in. 2 base all in. Adakiri is going to double down. A heavy Pyro army, stim, combat shields. This will hit like a truck. Now, the scary thing here for MaxPax is that in his mind, there's still a lot of possibilities when it comes to the follow-up. It could be a 2-1-1, could be a 3-Rax, it could be 3CC 3-Rax, it could be a 4-Rax, 2 base all in, right? There's still a lot of possibilities. It's on MaxPax to figure out what's going on, and so far he doesn't know. MaxPax is in the dark. Marauders a poke out with his shield battery. Ooh, and Cure is going to be punished. Yeah, Cure, he'll lose a Marauder. Massive pickup. Yeah, it's Cure, he's going to lose everything. He's going to lose all 3 Marauders. This is actually pretty huge. 3 Marauders, that would have been the backbone of the army. That is a hefty loss for Cure already. Ay. Very rough start. Again, he moved out, hoping that maybe he could catch MaxPax with his pants down. The pants are up. The pants are up, baby. I can imagine this army with 3 more Marauders. Nice catch on the Stalkers. Blink is not done. Gets 2. Okay. Does make up for it. Bearing in mind that every stim does count. Remember, we have 4 axes, no starport, 2 base all in. Like, there's no medevac support. So every stim is going to hurt. In my mind, Cure will pull the boys, but we'll see. There's not really that many boys to pull. Prism moves out to harass. Does spot a Marine, does spot a move out. We can see MaxPax intercept. This time, Blink is ready. And MaxPax is going for the Bay before expanding, but it's still 3-gate. Yeah, 3-gate Blink. Relatively safe. He warps in across the map. No defensive warp in. Army does push forward. Does force a cancel. MaxPax still going in. And Curie's all in. Cure, he's all in. SCVs are going to go down. Cure, he's rushing to the natural. Does focus on the shield battery. There's the recall. Yeah, there's the recall back home. Essentially, no force field. Prism does manage to get back home though, and there's just not enough bio here. He goes for the stim, but the boys are being pulled, and MaxPax holds. And MaxPax does hold. And again, imagine if this had 3 extra marauders. Like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that would have added so much more DPS to this. Cure did at least force a recall. Behind this, he's transitioning. We have a factory on the way. We have a starport on the way. This tells us that he's thinking further ahead. He starts +1 attack, but it's still looking very shaky. Very, very shaky. On the one hand, Cure, he was able to deal some damage in trade and delay the third, but can't do much more than that. Oh, Sims in. Can he get the Prism? Oh, the Prism does get away. Prism pulls out. Oh, MaxPax a little bit inattentive there, losing 2 Stalkers. It does lose 2 Stalkers. MaxPax didn't think that Cure would chase. Behind this, that is a second starport. Yeah, double starport. Getting ready for his Vikings. Now, what's surprising me a little bit here is that this is a second starport without a third TC. So initially, the 4X is a 2-base all-in, and it looks like we're setting up for a secondary kind of wave or a secondary all-in here. As this is a massive delay on the third TC. Oh no, Cure, he's expanding. It's just very late. So he is still expanding. Observer does confirm this. MaxPax knows. As MaxPax, he's securing his Colossus. The Colossi, they're building up. So far, nice damage, getting 3-4 SCVs. Nice pickoffs. And again, Cure's late third base. It's going to take a while for him to really scale up. It means that MaxPax is safe to, fully secure his third, work towards a 4th expansion. Speaking of, we should be seeing a 4th base soon. Should be seeing a 4th Nexus. Now focusing on his Colossi. There we go, 4th base on the way. This is a little bit late, but at the same time, the 3rd is also late for Cure, so that's... it's kind of evening out there. He is fixated on those Vikings. He's making 4 Vikings at a time. Heavy Marauder count. I mean, again, Cure, this army is very beefy. With this many Marauders, again, Colossus, they're not going to cut it. This army's built to tank. Azal take the 3rd base, no saturation. Essentially a fake 3rd. Yeah, fake 3rd. The boys are being pulled, so it was a 2-base all-in, a fake 3rd TC. This does make more sense. That's why I was so shocked by how late this 3rd was. I was like, if he's going double starport, the 3rd base doesn't make any sense. Now it does. It was fake. Fake expansion. Cure, he commits. He commits in. He's got a massive amount of Vikings. I'll take down the first Colossus. The SCVs do all fall. Gee, there are 4 Colossi. Oh my god. But they're all going down. They're all going down to 1 Colossus remaining. And he's gonna get it. The final Colossus falls. Behind this, there's no more Immortals. Disruptors are still on the way, but it may not spawn in. It may not pop in. Oh, never mind. There's going to be that one Nova, and then Disruptor goes down, Nova doesn't connect, Vikings A land, and there's just nothing here. MaxPax score with his pants down, GG gets called, and Cure, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very cheeky play here by Cure. Initially going for the 4X 2-base all-in, but MaxPax, he was able to hold his own. And like ourselves here, MaxPax, once he saw the 3rd TC, he believed that Cure was going to macro up. He was like, okay, it's getting a 3rd base. Now it's safe to get a 4th. Now it's safe to tech up. Now it's safe to try to macro in towards the mid game. But as I saw towards the end, Cure actually did not saturate his 3rd base. It was a fake. It was a fake out just designed to try to force an overreaction, try to lure MaxPax into a false sense of security, pull the voice, and still went for the all-in. feeling a little bit sane here, just because, again, as we mentioned at the time, we were even going along the talking points about like, oh, like he's getting 2 starports, this should just be a second 2-base all in. It's like, oh wait, he got a 3rd? What? So I was questioning myself, Poppy. I was like, what? This doesn't quite add up. I didn't add up. I mean, GG, well played. Unfortunately, when it comes to that MaxPax, he didn't see the double starport, right? He didn't see the follow-up, didn't see the double starport. He did see the late 3rd, so he had a piece of the puzzle there that should have kind of tipped him off a little bit as to what was going on, because that 3rd CC was so delayed. But he wasn't able to confirm, he wasn't able to check further, didn't get into the bases. With that, Cure takes a lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Let's go. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Quinton. Quinton, student in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 14 months, Pappy. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content, enjoy the casting, enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. Do appreciate it. As we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Esta es la grasa. Bienvenidos. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Samsung Gaming. It is MaxPax. Oh, hello, Tilda. Hello. Aye, Pat. Aye, Pat. Favorite bunny caster has arrived. Oh, no. The bunnies are doing okay. They're doing okay. Doing good. Still recovering. Oh. As coming into game 2, we do have Cure going for a double gas opener. Double gas instead of what we had previously. Last game was a more economic start. Here, double gas, what does that mean? That means a faster factory. Faster factory means a delayed CC out of Cure. Going for a more tech-heavy start. With this can lead into committed Reaper Hellion. This can lead into early Cyclones. This can lead into early 1-1-1 faster starports. Technically, this could become a 1-base all-in, but Cure isn't really one to delve into 1-base all-ins. But technically, he's on the table. MaxPax does pick in. He did get eyes in the factory, he knows. So MaxPax, he's aware of the more tech-heavy start. We should be seeing a more defensive stance out of MaxPax. As we get into this, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Smaller map, aggression is heavily favored here. Coming into this map very quickly, we do have a massive entrance into the natural. We have a massive entrance into the 3rd base as well, and we also have a massive entrance into the 4th. Basically, the entrances are very, very wide, very accessible, and we have seen many a player struggle to be defensive on this map. So typically, it's kind of a battle of who's going to be aggressive, who's going to gain map control. Typically. Again, rush distance background is very short, so even if we get into the mid-game, move outs and attacks can hit very, very quickly. Now, though, we are investing into Reaper Hellion. So it looks like triple Reaper, double Hellion. The goal here is economic damage. Reapers, they slip by. And the main base is exposed. How many probes? Let's get EA charge. Gets 1. Gets 2. Get 2 probes going down so far. Getting up to 3. Can we get 4? Oh, barely not. Yeah, barely not. Barely does actually. 4 probes go down, but it's going to be a one-way trip. It's going to be one way at the same time. Adepts, they do get into the mineral line, and they attempt to delay, but alas, there are Hellions to defend. Reaper pulls back. Nice control out of Cure. Very nice. And the CC doesn't get delayed. Oh my god. Did that... Did you notice? That SCV got the killing blow. You can see the SCV has 1 kill on it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. The MVP SCV drilled the Adept. With that Q, he defends, and he also attacks. He killed 5 probes. 5 probes. He defended back at home, and he still has a little bit of Reaper Hellion left over. He's moving out. Behind this, ooh, this looks hyper aggressive. We have not just tank production, but it was, again, double gas into tank production into Cloak Banshee as well. Very tech heavy. What is the downside? Well, obviously medevacs are going to be delayed, but on top of that, stim is going to be delayed, right? We're not really too concerned with stim, with the bio army. We are hyper-focused and hyper-fixated on the core units here, on the tanks, on the Banshees. That's where the main DPS output is going to be. It's going to rely. Hellions, they get into the main once again. Oh, boys. 2 line up for a moment. Getting 1, getting 2. 2, 3 probes going down. More Hellion volleys, 4 probe kills. That's 9 kills in total. Ay, ay, ay. This is far too much this early on. MaxPax is struggling. MaxPax is struggling. He is hurting. The follow-up here is going to hit very hard. In my mind, we're going to be pushing all together, all at once. Marines just a buffer. But before all of that, we have need detection. Now, thankfully, there is a robo on 2 bases. It is not uncommon to see a Protoss player go 2 gate into a 3rd and delay their robo, but on Tourmaline, it is ill-advised, just because of how small the map is. Here we can see 3 gate blink. 3 gate blink, a very safe, very standard opener. It's the same opener that MaxPax went for last game. Same opener, same build. 2 games in a row. MaxPax does counterattack as he moves out. We do see Cure moving in. Remember, there's no observer. There's no detection. No shield battery in the main base either. This is going to be crippling damage. I mean, MaxPax, he already lost 9 probes. Yeah, he already lost 9. More probes going to be going down. At the same time, MaxPax, he commits in. Ooh, into a tank. Yeah, tank flow is going up. There's a defensive Banshee. 1 tank is going to go down. Does get 1. Same time, thankfully, there's a shield battery with the natural. SCVs are getting picked up. And there is now 1 observer. Yeah, there's 1 observer back at home. This could have been a lot worse, but the Banshee's on A move. Like, thankfully for MaxPax, the Banshee's on A move. So it wasn't targeting down probes. In the end, MaxPax will defend. There's another Banshee soon to arrive. Rotating error will kill the bunker. Bunker goes down, a late repair. Banshee slips in, but there is a shield battery. Battery's on the way in the main as well. And this is still getting very tense. It's still getting very tense here. 2 probe kills, Banshee does float away. MaxPax going for the blink, going for the dive, gets the tank. Yeah, tank goes down, Marines, they try to punish. Remember, there's no stim. And no stim, but they still have to step forward regardless. As the tank is replaced. A Cure defense. Yeah, Cure's fine. Assuming he's sieged. But he will reposition his tanks. MaxPax, can we snipe stim? Can he get it? Links in. Not quite able to. Yeah, it doesn't dive into the main. MaxPax, he takes a 3rd. Admitting that he cannot break Cure. Cannot break him. And I'm worried about the counterattack. Because of all the economic damage, I should emphasize that MaxPax is behind. He's lost a little workers, and because of that, the follow-up is late. He's supply blocked, there's no Bay, there's no Colossus. Charge just now began, going into a Templar Archives, working towards what should be High Templar and Storm. But all this tech is late for MaxPax, which means when Cure pushes out, there should be Charge waiting for him, there should be Storms or Colossus waiting for him. That may not be the case, though. Cure collapsing in from behind. So it looks like Charge will finish. It will finish in time for the fight. And Cure, he commits. So moving out behind this, he is getting a 3rd CC. His 3rd base has been landed. Prism does backstab. Cure's in position. Cure, he's ready back at home. Curie stims in, and as we mentioned before, there's no splash damage, no storm, no colossus. Tanks do siege. Oof. And the first of that tank will survive. And tank does survive. We can just stim one forward. There's not many warpins remaining. We're bringing 3 zealots at a time. Oof. And nice target firing, and he's on it. Cure, he is on it. He has broken MaxPax. GG gets called, and Cure, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Cure. He will claim the series. Again, a hyper-aggressive Cure here. Game 1, he went for a fake-out. If you weren't here for it, I do recommend it, but game 1, we had a fake-out. Cure, he went for a 2-base all-in, faked a 3rd TC, and MaxPax, he took the bait. MaxPax, he took the bait, he got lured in, and he got caught with his pants down. The pants were down. Coming into game 2, we saw something a little bit different here. We saw a more aggressive early game out of Cure, and he killed 9 probes. Like, that was brutal damage to begin with, and there was so much pressure on MaxPax to do some counter damage. I will say he failed to do so. Like, he failed to recover after the early game, so he fell behind. He stayed behind after losing 9 workers, after the Reaper, Hellion, and Banshee harass, and that led into Cure snowballing out of control. As we try to emphasize, because of all those early economic losses, that's why MaxPax, that's why he was so delayed when it came to his further tech, when it came to his splash damage, when it came to his 3rd base, and when it came to reinforcements. Like, it was just a really, really rocky start there for MaxPax. GG. GG, well played. Cure with a 2-0. Strong showing, and again, a more aggressive side of Cure here in both game 1 and game 2. Takes down MaxPax, and with that, we're going to be following Cure into the next series. He does advance on to the semifinals to face off against herO in the semis. Let's go. Let us go from one TVP to the other, as herO, he has been lying in wait. And again, opponents, they just get harder and harder here for Cure. Coming into this, herO is the favorite player, but we'll see if Cure can keep that momentum going. After bringing down MaxPax, we'll see how he feels coming up against, oh boy, the best Protoss in the world. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go, and welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is favored here, and move outs, they move out very, very quickly. The rush distance by ground is the shortest than any other map in the map pool, so very short rush distance by ground. But there's a bit of a give and take. On the one hand, yes, the rush distance by ground is very short. That is true. So reinforcements, they arrive that much faster. But I would say that your 3-base layout here, when it comes to your base layout, is more secure than on other maps. We bring this up all the time, but typically your bases are, imagine this 3-base setup here, where you have your 3rd base on the left hand side, your natural here on the right, and there are entrances into the 3rd, and there are also there are other entrances into the natural. But specifically on this map, you can take the forward base, you can take the forward expansion, you can park your army here at your 3rd, and it protects your natural at the same time. So it's a much more secure 3-base setup. So the bases are a little bit more congested, right? They're closer together, they're more consolidated, maybe that's a better way of putting it. They're more consolidated. Same with your 4th base. They're all close together, and there are limited attack paths into those expansions. As these mineral patches are typically not mined out until much, much later in the game. Much, much later. Meanwhile, economic opener. Economic started a Cure, going for a Rax expand. Single gas. You can see herO being annoying, and I believe herO, he does force the CC.
Command center upgrade complete.
Is that a little bit off center? Potentially. Even if it is, we can always just lift and land. So now we're going to be settling in. Again, typically herO, he is a little more assertive and aggressive in PvT. More so than MaxPax. We did point out that last series, MaxPax 2 games in a row, he went 3-gate blink. He went for a very safe opener. We'll see if herO commits into 4-gate blink stalker, if he cuts corners and goes 2 gates. But now this is Twilight Council. Oh, meanwhile, Cure going for the tech lab and also into early Cyclone. So this is just a safe way to play. Safe way to follow up after an economic start. Oh, okay, so he works towards his Cyclone, but that is a second Rax. Yeah, my attention. So a hidden second Rax here. Typically, if you delay your starport and if you go for extra Raxes, that's usually indicative of aggression and sometimes indicative of all-ins. So right now we're waiting for a third Rax. SCV's in position. This looks more like a starport. No, there's a second. Yeah, another Rax. So 3 Rax. 3 Rax set up before the starport. Hyper aggression. This is going to be leading into an early stim timing. Early stim, mass marine, mass marauder, and potentially we can also pull the boys and just turn this into a 2-base all-in, or we could go for a starport into a later third CC. This is aggressive, but not necessarily all-in yet. But regardless, hyper aggressive, and it's on herO to figure out what's going on. herO, he throws down 2 gates at his natural, back in the main base, 1 gateway as well, so 3-gate blink, very safe opener. If you recall, MaxPax in his series, he was going 3-gate blink every game as well, but actually herO is going for a delayed robo. So greedier build by herO. If you remember, we actually brought this up last game on Tourmaline, but again, here he's delaying his robo, faster expansion instead, so this is a little bit greedier here. And this means that here he will have that edge coming into a longer game, but will it even be a longer game? Hallucination scouts! He does scout, does confirm. He sees all the Raxes, he sees them, he sees combat shields. herO knows. herO, he now knows how much danger he's in. herO, he immediately moves out. He has to slow down the push. Pick away at the Marines, pick away at the Marauders. Starport is on the way, so we are going into medevacs. But again, herO, has he been too greedy? Charge begins. It's going to be ideal. Picks off 2 Marines. Nice snipes out of herO. Ooh, he gets caught out. Oh my god. Just barely not. Breaks the lock on. herO blinks away. As hero's getting the extra gateway. So his response here is not to go into a robo into immortal production. His response is to go into a mass gateway and mass charge setup. Ooh, do you see what I see? 2 more Raxes. So we mentioned earlier how seeing a 3-Rax setup here isn't exactly confirming a 2-base all-in. This is seeing 2 extra Raxes instead of a third CC, so a 5-Rax setup on 2 bases. Cure's gonna double down. He's gonna commit. It's gonna be all or nothing for Cure. It's gonna hit very, very hard. And herO, does he scout? He gets in. Yeah, he gets further in, and he does confirm both extra Raxes. He sees everything in the main. So herO, he knows what's going on. Once again, he's being proactive. Can he get a Marauder? Ooh, I'll pick up. Nice save there by Cure. Saves a Marauder. 1 Stalker goes down. Does, oh, yeah, crazy blink. Oh my god. That was not worth it. Stalker goes down. herO, he's in danger. Danger, he's in trouble. He's racing back home. He needs Zealot Warpins. But even then, he might not have enough. Cure's still rallying. Cure's rallying. He's containing herO. Double drop into the main. Oh. As herO does face check up the ramp. Remember, still no splash damage, and I have to favor Cure here. Does force a recall. Recalls into the main base. Oh, Stalkers are exposed, getting 2 Stalkers already. And Cure's pushing in. Cure's pushing in. The double drop is going to be cleaned up though. Yeah, here he cleans up the double drop at the same time. Depowers everything in the natural. The Archosis Pylon. Denies +1. Depowers the Robo. Catching out more Stalkers, more Sentries. And remember, Cure's rallying. Cure's rallying. The Zealots, they do great tanking though. There are so many charge lots. And charge will say rally in. herO in the midst of this defense gets a 4th Nexus. Very greedy. Bold move out of herO. Remember, Cure, he's 2-base all in. He has no third. He has no third CC. This has to kill. This has to win the game. And on the one hand, dropping into the main base did distract herO, but it also meant that the main push was weaker. So there was a bit of a give and take. Nice kiting out of Cure. He will snipe every Zealot. Heavy Zealot goes down. He wants those Stalkers. The Blink does not break the lock-on. That's another 2 Stalkers going down. 3 Stalkers survive. herO, he's barely holding on. And again, was he too greedy getting a Nexus? I feel like he was. Remember, this is a 2 base all-in. We don't need a 4th base. That could have been extra warp-ins. That could have been extra gateways. It's crazy. How many gates were on? 8. hero's done it. Yeah, Cure, he's losing that confidence. Double eBay. 2 eBays get thrown down. Again, Cure's been on 0-0 this entire time, but seeing these 2 eBays tells us, yeah, he feels that he cannot win. He cannot kill. But he will get the 4th. So let's get the 4th base. Nice catching the reinforcements. Cure going further in. +1 does complete. The Cure gets further into the bases. 4 probes going down. Yeah, gets full workers, does pick up. And once again, while he distracts in the main, we have a rally headed towards the 3rd. He's headed for the 3rd base. Here is being pulled apart. Oh. Secure does rally in. Takes down the pylon, denies the warp in. Not bad. Does he have the immortal? Barely not. Here he's barely holding on. And again, we're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. herO, he was overly greedy. He gets punished for it. He will lose the expansion. At the same time, Cure, he admits that he cannot kill, and he's also working and trying to get into the mid game with a very late 30C with late 1-1 upgrades. But Cure, he's getting there. And he finds more damage in the main. Yeah, boys are being pulled. That's going to be another 8 probes going down. How many probes have gone down in total? 28! Oh, Jesus. Oh no, there's no dead space. The medevac. Oh my god. Barely gets out. That doesn't, he does not get away. Yeah, no dead space here. So again, we're getting very messy. Very, very messy. herO, he lost a little of economy. He lost 28 probes. He lost a base. He lost an expansion. He was delayed when it came to his production. A lot of buildings were being depowered. So it was a very messy defense here by herO. But he does hold. At the same time, Cure, he's trying to macro out of this. And Cure does have the better economy. Straight up. Cure, he's up on SCVs. He has mules as well. Does have a stronger economy. But can he survive? Oh. herO making his way into the main. He does have high ground vision. Blinks in. Going for add-ons. He does attract Cure. Cure splits off half his army. And there are no bunkers on the high ground. Here he's going for it. He commits. Commits in, he gets 1, he gets, ooh, 1 medevac, gets another. A lot of medevacs going to be going down. Jesus. Yeah, 4 or 5 medevac kills. At the same time, the Stalkers, they get punished, and there's just too much fire. There's too much man with gun. Cure, he stims, and he wins, takes down all the Zealots, the Immortals, and the Stalkers have to get the hell out of here. herO, he cannot win a head-on fight, not like this, not without splash damage. Not like this. And herO plummets in supply. And Cure, he confirms, still no 4th. Still no 4th expansion. Still not yet done. Prism eventually got hunted down by the Liberators. The Freedom Pappy. And I don't see herO defending against this. I mean, he does have a Colossus, true. There is now a Colossi, but the checkpoint is brutal. Pushing into Freedom Zones. Liberators just punish the ground army. They punish. And Curie trades so efficiently. More Liberation Zones have arrived. Diving on the Colossus, he stims in. He stims on 4. There's no way out of this. And with that Cure, he will break the 4th base. Breaks down the army, breaks the expansion. herO, he has nothing left. He's down to 1 Stalker. One surviving stalker. Let's go. At this point, Kira just going for the kill. Slipping into the natural. There's now one Colossus. We're down to 3 Stalkers and 1 Colossus. The Cobium GG gets called, and Cure, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As Cure does take a lead. Also, I do apologize. I did just realize that the in-game overlay is incorrect. So I will fix that. My apologies. One moment. This is not wrong Cup. There we go. Oh, but GG well played. Curie does take a lead in the series, and with that, we'll see if herO can recover and bounce back. Winding it back here, when it comes to 10,000 feet, Curie was hyper aggressive. We saw him commit into the initial 3-axe, into the 5-axe follow-up, into a 2-base all-in, and we saw that he was able to cripple herO's economy. Likewise, herO was also being very greedy. Like, herO in the face of a 2-base all-in took a 4. That was insane. So he was not able to maintain it. He lost 28 probes and the 4th expansion, and Curie was also trading efficiently against the gateway composition. And with that, Cure just tore herO apart. Again, just a little bit too greedy there. herO did scout, by the way. This is where I have to put some onus on herO, because with the hallucination, he saw the initial 3-axe, he saw the early sim timing, and he saw the 5-axe follow-up as well. He saw everything he needed to, but again, he was just a little bit overly greedy. He did decide to not go into splash damage. He did decide to go into a very gateway heavy composition instead, which is reliant on a greater economy, which is reliant on that production, on those warp-ins, on surrounds as well, ideally, but didn't quite occur. Nice drop play out of Cure, by the way. Nice drop play, pulling apart the army. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now going to be getting into game number 2. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Let's go. We'll see if Cure can extend his lead. We'll see if herO can fight back. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Let's go. Let's go. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. So yeah, when did Cure join Team Liquid? It's been a couple of years. Apparently in 2023. Feels longer, to be honest. I would agree with that. Like, Cure has been on Team Liquid for a long time. Before that, I think he was he on DPG? I think he was on Dragon Phoenix Gaming before that. But has been on TL for quite some time. But I do apologize. Thank you, Sinistra. Thank you for reminding. But yeah, I had the wrong in-game overlay. Is PiGosaur Cup. Gracias, Sinistro. Obrigado. As once again, double gas opener by Cure, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. Did you already cast the final? The finals are live tonight. Yesterday we casted the semis. The grand finals are live tonight in like 12 hours. In 11 hours. 11 hours time is going to be the finals of Rongi Cup. Tentatively in 11 hours. I say tentatively because for those that are unaware, Rongi Cup is a multi-game event, like a multi-esport event. So there's Valorant and maybe some other esports as well. And the way that the broadcast is going to work is that SC Boy and the casting team, they're going to be casting the other esport titles first and then StarCraft. So the start time for the StarCraft finals depends on how long the Valorant finals takes. So it's going to be the Valorant finals first, And then when that finishes, then the StarCraft Finals begins. But it kind of depends on like how long the Valorant Finals takes. For now, though, again, we did have our double gas opener. This did not lead into too heavy of Reaper Hellion. It was just a single Reaper into a faster add-on swap into Cyclone, into his 1/1/1. So again, a very different opener here by Cure, opening up Cyclone to shut down the Adept to be able to expand. But here it does delay the CC. He delays by a couple of seconds. At the same time, Reaper dips in, it confirms the tech, confirms the blink. So Twilight Council has been spotted. We have 2 gateways in the main base, so 2 gate blinks so far. And we're expecting additional gateways here at the natural. Remember, this is a smaller map, Organo Tourmaline. Smaller maps, so aggression is favored. We're expecting safer play at a herO. Nice control here by Cure. He pulls back the Reaper. Does pull back. There's the 3rd gateway. We have 3 gate blinks so far. Do we go for a 4th gateway? Do we just commit? Eyes are on herO. Meanwhile, Cure, he himself is going for earlier tank production. So add-on swap into tank. And looks like herO will not get a 4th gateway. Okay. So just 3 gate blink. 3 gate blink into a 3rd. A relatively safe build here by herO. So he pulls away. Would wrench up into the main. As my jump does come in. Oh. So fine damage, good reactions here by herO. At the same time, we do have the Cyclone getting into the 3rd. Ooh. As I'll be losing a Stalker. So gets 2 probes, gets a Stalker. Not a bad trade here by Cure. And again, Cure's building up. Bagadome slowly building up. Getting into a 2nd tank. Add-on swap into Stim. And it's going to be on Cure to just defend, to turtle until he finishes Stim. Until he can move out. Oh no! Oh my Jesus. Calm down here, calm down. As a matter of fact, barely gets away. There's still a drop out there, there's still Widowmine. Can always go back in. Here looking for a way into the main base, and the add-ons are somewhat exposed, but there's a tank in position. I don't really see herO doing much here. But he's looking. Looking for damage. As opposed to last game, this time it's going to be an earlier bait and a later charge. So earlier Colossus production. And after an intense game 1 and after an intense quarterfinals match, we're slowing things down. We're slowing things down. herO getting into his own 3 base economy. Likewise, Cure building up on 2 bases. herO jumping into the mineral line. Gets 2 SCVs. And should slip away. Does pull away, does intercept. herO back at home, still amassing more Colossus. And Cure can soon start to move out. Yes, Stim. Stim is now done. Said moving out with his double drop. I don't see a 3rd CC yet. We should be seeing one soon. Cure does bring everything together. Does type the Observer. herO, he won't see whether or not there's an expansion. herO, he does delay. And He delays the move out. Back at home is built up to 2 Colossus. herO going for the Zalarambai. Ideally, this should be to deny the third, but there is none. There's no third CC. Not yet. Kira's pushing in. And you can see how bare bones this army is. Again, there are just so many Zelds across the map. The Stalkers as well. Kira does push in. herO, he's exposed. Massive anti-armor missile. Yeah, the armor shot on the Colossus. Zelds, they just melt. Kira, can he push in? Can he break through? He's distracted. Oof. Mind shot goes off. Reinforcements have arrived. And herO, he does hold. Yeah, barely does hold on. He's up the tanks. Does survive. Now, what's scary about what just happened here? Kira never got a third. he never got a third base. Now he throws one down. Third CC just now begins, but it is so delayed. hero's getting a fourth. Again, herO did hold. Kira had potential, 100%. He had potential to break herO then and there, but honestly, herO, with his army being all over the place, it actually kind of worked out in the end, as he was able to stagger his reinforcements, come in for the surround, come in for the flank. Actually did work quite well for him. And with that, herO holds, and herO, he has a greater economy. 66 workers to 50. hero's getting his fourth base just to maintain that greater economy. And now switching into disruptors. He can do this because, hey, the Colossus survived. Like, the Colossus, they survived the fight. So now he can build up his disruptors. Second starport's on the way for Kira, and Kira, he has a lot of catching up to do. He's going to be outscaled. I'll be honest, I don't see Kira defending his third. He's going to take it, don't get me wrong. He'll take his third base, but Hero's going to have a window here where he can just build up into a critical army and then push into the third before Kira can really catch up. We spoke earlier, but the third base here is very open. It's very accessible. Here we go. Hero's making 2 disruptors at a time. Now saturating his fourth base. Getting a fifth as well. It's not going to be easy here for Kira. Massing his army. Quickly checking here, no Ghost Academy yet, so no Ghosts, no EMPs. He does have a heavy Viking count. He did get a second starboard. That is true. So he's got plenty of Vikings, but remember, here is switching into disruptors. The Colossus, they aren't as important, they aren't as integral. There's a scan. Once again, very nice armor shred. Shreds the armors on the Colossus. Shows those Novas as what? 4 disruptors. There's 4 Novas available. Here he has to pull away. Hero's almost maxed. So almost maxed out. And here he's moving in. He's moving in. From here, he's still lacking some reinforcements. Thankfully for Kira, there's no War Prism. Oh my god, Novas go off. Jesus, massive connections. A little bit trigger happy there, though. Yes, here he spams all the Novas. Nova does zone away. And again, here you can see he has a massive bank. Here he had no proxy pylon, he had no War Prism, he had no way to reinforce. So delayed warp ins here from herO. Delayed reinforcements. It's giving Kira some time to breathe. Unfortunately, herO, he saved all the disruptors. He still has all those Novas. Still has the Novas. Speaking of, they're spread out. 1 Nova does connect. Oof. They're catching on the Marines. But Kira gets some nice last second splits. Because again, here his reinforcements are still very delayed. Can he break through? He blinks in, gets one. Yeah, 1, 2, gets all 3 Liberators. Novas there popping up. And we get some decent spreads there by Cure. Some decent spreads. Meanwhile, the big shout to Baby Lings in the chat. Yeah, baby, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for resubscribing and for the gift of subs as well. Thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Este Baby Lings. Subscribing for 45 months. Crazy, crazy. 45 months and for 5 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're recovering well. Ah. As we're currently in the semifinals of PiGosaur Cup. In the semis. Meanwhile, as hero's distracting here at the third base, we have Zealot run by in towards the natural. I mean, that is a lot of Liberators. But Zealots take it in. They distract. Hero doesn't quite push into the Liberation Zone, so. Hero pulls away. And you might be looking at this being like, okay, so Hero, he cannot break the third. True, he can't break it, but he's still trading. He's still just rebuilding, remaxing. Hero has a massive bank. Hero has 6 bases. And he can afford to trade it efficiently. He can afford it. As Hero, he rotates over, looking for another way in. Jesus, how many 9 Liberators. That's, oh my god. That's a lot of liberation, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Now, I will say that typically when you're in this kind of position, one, Hero should be taking another base, and he does go for the center expansion. Once you see a high Liberator count like this, it's typically advised to go for a Fleet Beacon, a Stargate, and get ready for a Tempest switch. That's kind of what you want to go for. But I mean, the other option, of course, is if you have a large enough bank, you can just like trade inefficiently anyway. Just like dive in. Just dive in, have a bad trade, but hey, just kill like 5 Liberators in the process. And gets 1. Gets 2. Jesus, he goes in. Yeah, he goes in, goes to dive. 3 Liberators go down. Does come through the army. Not bad. Never goes off. Novas they zone away. Flips his own army towards the end. Calm down here, calm down. As Hero takes every other base on the map, taking top left and bottom right. Mass expanding. Still 9 Liberators here for Cure. As Hero does take the other bases. Ay, ay, ay. There's 1 base left next to Hero's army. Now, what is Cure's win condition? Now, if Hero takes a really bad fight, if he blinks in and if he fails to really kill any meaningful damage or deal any meaningful damage, even though he gets like, what, 2, 3, 4 Liberators, but he loses a massive chunk of his army, that should trigger a counterattack. That triggers a counterattack. Because we're on Tourmaline, a counterattack, it takes seconds to get across the map, and Cure can try to end the game and push in towards the main and push in towards the production. That's maybe best case scenario for Cure. Is just hope that Hero takes a bad fight. Now, Cure, he does leave his army sieged up at his natural. Hero rotates, Liberators out of position. Oh, links in. It's a CC. Mass Novas don't connect with too much. Hero finds an opening. Kills CC. Kills the command center. Takes down 2 lives. Nova connects. And that's all the Hero needs to do. Just trade. Trade. Pick up some key units. Pull away. Rebuild. Cure does kill an Nexus, and Cure takes the center expansion, or at least he tries to. Oh, another crazy blink. Again, not the best trade team by herO, but he does break through for those Liberators. 5, 6 Liberators going down. Almost gets all of them. Almost everyone. Jesus. there are so many Nova. Oh my god. There are so many Novas, but he pulls back to cannons and shield batteries. Here come the reinforcements, and herO's done it. At this point, here he has done it. Cure could not afford to lose that much. Losing his final Liberators. The Novas are popping up. They connect back. And herO does overwhelm. At the same time, Cure did kill another expansion, but GG gets called, and herO ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We are now tied up here. Again, Cure just had a really rough start. Winding it back, Cure, he was hyper committed on 2 bases, and he failed to break the natural. He failed to break herO. If you recall, we're referring to the moment when he moved out across the map. He had his tanks. He was able to land the armor shred on the Colossus, but he wasn't able to kill the Colossus. Wasn't able to capitalize. And we did emphasize that after that push failed, Cure didn't have a third. Didn't have a third TC. He didn't have a base. Didn't have an expansion. He wasn't really built to get into a longer game. He didn't have the setup for it, and he fell behind. He fell behind, he stayed behind. Yes, eventually he took a third base, but he had to fight so hard for that third. Meanwhile, herO had every other expansion on the map. GG. GG, well played. Again, just because of the failed 2-base all-in previously. And that leads us into game 3. We'll see who takes the lead in the series, who does put that point on the board. Let's go. Going to be loading into the Old Republic. Fully recovered. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. As spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Tying up the series 1-1, and spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. We go, and again, we've just seen a very aggressive and assertive Cure so far tonight, both against MaxPax and even game 1 and game 2 against herO as well. But now aggression's not going to be so favored coming into a larger map. Welcome to the Old Republic, one of the larger maps in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. I will say that the 3rd and 4th bases are more open and more exposed. That is true, but that's typically in the mid game. So we should be seeing Cure kind of shift gears a little bit, to be a little bit more economic instead, and work towards a longer and later game. But we'll see. We shall see. Likewise, just because this map does favor longer and later, and at least the mid game, that doesn't mean that herO is going to take it lying down. Doesn't mean that he's going to take it slow. herO, he's known for being aggressive and very assertive and very dynamic and crazy. So we could see extra gateways here. We could see extra gateways. Eyes are on herO. So far, standard opener. Cure does open up with a single gas. So economic opener out of Cure as well. Yeah, so just calming things down here in game number 3. Calming things down. Also should remind as well that this is a best of 5, not a best of 3, best of 5. So we still have plenty more games ahead of us. This is something more unique to PiGosaur Cup. Is a best of 5s in the semifinals. And also Clem is waiting. Clem is waiting for the winner of the series in the grand finals. He's waiting, Pat. He's waiting. Curious, just settling down, getting to zone 1-1-1. Nothing tech heavy, nothing crazy. We have our tech of choice, Twilight Council opener out of herO. We should point this out, every game so far it has been a Twilight Council, but herO, he is one to mix in Stargate play or mix in Robo play. It's more rare, but does happen from time to time. Especially in the best of 5. In the best of 5, herO is very fond of even going proxy Stargate, for example. We see that a lot against Clem. And Cure is scouting. It does check the edge just in case. I don't blame him. Making sure there's no star gauge, there's no pylon, no gateway. Likewise, your herO also slips in, also confirms the 111 and the Widow Mine drop. Oh, it's been a while, but we have a much more committed mine drop here out of Cure. Okay. Again, Widow Mine drops used to be a little more standard and common in meta. This was back a couple of years ago before the nerf. Before the nerfs, as there were a lot of nerfs to the Widow Mine. This would have been, what, in 2023-ish era of StarCraft, but mine drops used to be the go-to, like double Widow Mine drop, triple Widow Mine drop, quadruple mine drop, continued mine drop as well. If you don't quite recall the patch that was added, and again, I think that was like a couple of years ago at this point, it was the change which actually created an alert. Before, you would only get an alert when an attack occurred, but now the defending player, the Protoss player, or defending player in general, does get an alert when the Widow Mine does burrow, when it burrows instead of targets. So you get a couple of seconds of an earlier kind of response, an earlier reaction. On top of that, the splash damage was lessened, the radius was reduced. So when mine shots would go off, they'd kill less probes. Again, it was like 3 or 4 different nerfs that hit the Widow Mine, and it did kind of kill off committed mine drops like this. But hey, Curie gets away with 2. Does get away with 2. 9 probes go down. There's still 1 Widow Mine in the main. But again, it was reduced damage. It was reduced, reduced radius, reduced damage, depending on how spread out your units are. The alert. Oh. And since then, committed mine drop openers have been quite rare. They're not seen as often. Here, Curie gets some decent damage. He kills 4 probes for 2 mines and 2 Hellions, and then hey, there's still 2 mines left over. And try to go back in. Which is calming down. Third CC at a Cure. Again, this is like the most chill, the most macro game we've seen so far in tonight's broadcast, including the previous series of MaxPax. But we're just calming down, slowly building up. As we mentioned at the start of the game, a big reason for this is just the map itself. Just mid-game is a lot more common. Early game aggression is weaker. So like no rush 8 minutes. herO pokes in, he confirms the CC. So here he should feel safe to get a 4th base. And we should be seeing one soon. Here, instead of getting a 4th, he gets double forge. I mean, we're still the same thing here. We're just building up into a longer game. Double forge, double upgrades, Temple Archives for Storm. Colossus are amassing. Just throwing down all the tech. Now, if we are just getting to a standard mid-game here, this is where I am a little bit concerned for Cure. In a standard game, in a TVP, typically the Protoss player will be up in bases, up in economy, and typically they will have map control. This is something that Cure has to fight for. If he fails to do so, if he's contained back at home, then we're going to see a very similar situation to last game, where Cure was stuck on 3 bases and Cure could never expand. Here, it's going to be similar, where the 4th base is very difficult to maintain, whether it's this low ground 4th expansion here, where it's on the low ground, you can be attacked and assaulted from the left and from the right hand side, or the base on the right here, where there's also a massive opening, a massive kind of arc or concave available into the 4th expansion, where it's also very spread out and isolated from the rest of your bases. So defending these 4th bases can be very difficult as the Terran player, and it's not going to be easy. Here's taking his own 4th, but it's easier for the Protoss just because typically the Protoss has map control. Typically the Protoss is the aggressor. Typically. building up. Here he will soon skyrocket ahead in terms of his army. This is where the soup does lie. You might be looking at this and being like, oh, but Kira, he does have that supply lead. Well, if you remember, Hero did invest into all this tech first, right? He did prioritize his tech. He delayed his fourth. So it's going to take a little bit longer for the economy to kick in to be able to boost his production. But now Storm is done. Storm is complete. So is 1-1. Can soon start up 2-2. And Kira is getting his fourth. And again, there's no reason for Hero to push. Not yet. There's no reason until Kira expands. So here he wants to wait for Kira to expose himself to try to take a fourth base, whether it's the low ground fourth or the linear fourth. Here he's just waiting. Observer got spotted. Observer got spotted. Oh, there we go. Dust scan. Here getting a fifth. Main army's moving in, and as we mentioned, here he wants to wait for the army to move down and expose itself here on the low ground. Hero should not push up this ramp. And here comes Kira. Here comes the move out. There's that high ground vision. Storm is coming in. Ooh, nice EMPs. Yeah, very nice EMPs. High tempo to get called out. 0 storms available, and Hero's overextending. Here he does overextend. He has to back up. Again, those EMPs were insane. Catching out the Colossus, and Cure holds. Cure, he defends well. Again, 1 EMP landed with what I want to say like 5 High Templar. As here, he was clumped. He was 2 clumped up. A crazy blink. He blinks into the tanks. And tank does punish. And Cure should be able to expand. Here, it does not have enough. Doesn't have enough here. Cure doesn't know that, so he's playing scared. He's taking his time. But Cure is now maxed. Here he's maxed out. Again, 1 good fight is sometimes all you need. And as we mentioned, here he did not have to push up the ramp. Like, those just had to wait on the low ground path. But here he got too excited. He got too excited. And here he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Storm does zone. Oh, catching a Bow Templar, not a single Storm lands there. And Templar go down, Prism as well. We can see that here is switching into Sky Toss, but this is late. This is a late switch into Sky Toss. Considering the game state. Because Cure, he's pushing. Like, Cure, he has momentum, he has an army. Here, he doesn't have time for Sky Toss. He was moving in at the same time as Zelsay coming for the run by. Storm does graze the army. Does graze. Planetary's not done. A decent harass here from Hero. Killing 13, 14, 15 SCVs. Oh my god. Yeah, Storm lands at the same time. These Zelsay popping off. They're killing everything. Zelsay cripple Cure. And Cure's all in. And Cure's overstimmed. Oh my god. Heavily overstimmed. Trying to chase down the Colossus. Stalkers, they punish. More Vikings going to be going down, and these Zelts are still popping off 29 SCV kills, and they're still doing more damage. He rotates to the right hand side. Here he pulls the voice. Let's go. Does pull the voice. Storm comes in. Massive storm. And Hero holds. Hero does barely hold on. Oof, catching out a full medevac. Doesn't save the Colossus. We're getting messy. Getting messy here. As Cure does re-expand, but he's down to 49 SCVs. At the same time here, he saved that Nexus. He saved his 5th. Now his 4th. So he saved his 4th base. Now we have a center 5th on the way. Hero can rebuild and remax. And again, Cure, he had this game, but the MVPs for Hero were the Zealot run-bys. The Zealot run-bys, Zealot counterattacks. Again, 29 SCVs went down. It was crazy damage. It's crazy. And Cure, he failed to kill. Failed to kill across the map. Nice EMP. Once again, here he clumps up the High Templar. We gotta stop clumping back. Yeah, that's gonna be the final storm. Does land though. And we have more storms coming in. Yeah, more High Templar, they trickle in. There's gonna be 2 storms available. Cure barely holding on. Does get a flanking Templar. Ooh, is the ghost exposed? Yeah, catching out 3 ghosts. Here he's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. We've been here before, but here he has no prism, he has no pylon, so it does take a long time to reinforce his army, but they're coming. The reinforcements are coming. Here does try to push up the ramp. Does manage to find a CC. Takes down one of the bases. Does surround the army. Yeah, Zealous collapse in, going for the planetary massive storm with the SCVs. No repairs. And again, that was the mining base for Cure. GG gets called. Cure is broken, and herO takes a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very intense game 3 here. Cure initially had the advantage. Cure took a better fight. Remember, this all began with herO overextending up the ramp. herO had the advantage. He had map control, and we spoke about it as it was happening. We were like, hey, herO, all he has to do is wait for Cure to move down to the low ground. And herO didn't wait. herO, he pushed up the ramp instead. herO took a bad fight. He lost his Colossus, his High Templar. He got like 5 High Templar EMP'd by 1 ghost. It was crazy. And Cure was able to max. He was the first player to max out. He was able to be secure on 4 bases, and then he pushed. But because Cure was maxed, it meant that when herO went for the run by, when he went for the Zealot counterattack, there were no reinforcements. There was no production because Cure had no spare supply to work with. That's the one downside of maxing out like that and moving out with everything, is that you have no reinforcements to deal with those Zealots, which typically would be the case. So that was insane damage. As Cure was pushing, herO killed 29 SCVs, was able to cripple the economy of Cure and force him all in. He wasn't all in, he didn't have to be, but he was forced into it because of those Zealots, and we saw that Cure didn't have enough. He killed the center base, killed a couple of Colossus, but not much more than that. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO takes the lead. Now we're going to be loading into game number 4. We'll see if Cure can force the ace match. Can he force the ace match back? Because we're loading into Ruby Rock. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing T1, leading the series 2-1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player setting out an SCV very early on. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Goes. Cure does move out with the SCV. I believe this is to avoid the initial probe scout and to come in with an eBay. Otherwise, we might just proxy racks. Yeah, there's no racks back at home. Oh boy. There we go. The proxy has been thrown down. We have our initial racks. Bearing in mind that there's only 1 SCV. So I'm leaning towards... Jeez, I'm getting deja vu. herO versus Cure, IM Katowice 2024. Was it the quarterfinals of IM Katowice? It was on Golden Aura? Was it on Golden Aura? When Cure went Proxy Marauder. He went Proxy Marauder and he knocked herO out of IM. That memory is burned into my skull. That was aye. But here we go. We have the racks being thrown down, gases being taken back at home, and are we going for the tech lab? Show us what you got. Just Reaper. Okay, just Reaper, no tech lab, no Marauders. So very light aggression here from Cure, not committed. Now this can kill some probes. It can kill some probes, but behind this, Cure should be transitioning and macroing out of this. So initial Reaper does move out. Bunker gets thrown down as well. Thankfully, we do get a shield battery in time. And with that battery, herO will be able to defend. It's going to be on herO to minimize losses, to pull back the weekend probes. He's going to lose 2. Just barely not. Clutch micro out of herO. Does get 2. Yeah, 2 probes go down. Reaper does pivot around, heads towards the bunker, and the bunker will finish. It barely does complete. Likewise, so does the shield battery. And so far, it's been a nice start. With this, he was able to get 2 probe kills. He was able to force out a shield battery, keep the Stalker busy back at home, force out a Stalker as well. And again, is expanding. There is a downside to this, and that is that this bunker is going to be killed. If you recall, before the patch, this bunker, I mean, it would be a little bit of an easier and more justified response here by the Terran because they can salvage. But no longer is that the case. Cannot salvage. So a bigger investment here by the Terran. As herO kills the bunker. Back at home, we do have a would-be 2-1-1 setup. 3 rank setup. Okay. Second and third ranks get thrown down. is going for an early stim timing. So stim is on the way, combat shields, a heavy bio composition. We've been here before, just like against MaxPax. If we see no starport, this is indicative of a 2-base all-in. This could be a later 2-base all-in with a 4th and 5th racks as well. So we'll keep an eye on the racks count. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a very small map in the map pool. Another Cyclone! No! Late reaction! Yeah, late reaction, Cyclone goes down. Massive pickoff here for herO. herO does snipe that Cyclone. Delays the CC. This should not have happened. Ooh, big delay here. Again, this should not have happened. he was just inattentive with his army. Tank does arrive, and can finally expand. But a very delayed natural. Now the question becomes, because of the delay, because of the damage dealt early on, is tempted to commit into an all-in? We'll see. We shall see. Yep, throws down to 1 eBay for +1. It's going to be a +1 timing. Oh boy. Meanwhile, herO going into DTs. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. We saw something similar here on herO Cup, if you recall. Or, sorry, was it even this week's PiGosaur Cup? But going into DTs like this, going for the Dark Shrine, it can work really well. DTs, of course, especially if is going for a 2-base all-in, scans are going to be very limited. Scans are very, very limited, so Dark Templar can kill. Sorry, I said it was PiGosaur Cup. It was herO Cup. Yeah, it was herO Cup, Maru versus Trigger. Maru versus Trigger, we had a very similar situation where Maru went for a 2-base all-in. I believe this was on Tourmaline, and Trigger, he tried to react with DTs, but because the map was so small, Maru, he was able to deal critical damage anyway. Was able to deal critical damage and shut Trigger down. That was what, 2 days ago? Yesterday? Yesterday, yeah. Do you see what I see? Oh. Here at the natural, 2 more racks is hidden behind the mineral line, 2-base all-in. So we have confirmation. We have confirmation. It's going to be a 2-base all-in. Again, he's hiding those raxes. These raxes should not have add-ons. It's just to reinforce with extra marines. As is getting extra raxes instead of getting a 3rd CC. So this is going to hit like a truck. Meanwhile, the Dark Shrine is now done. There are 4 DTs moving out. Once again, one of the big advantages for herO is that because this is going to be an all-in, scans are limited. There's a 1 scan available in the main. No, he just muled! He just muled. Okay, no scan in the main. He's soon going to have 1 scan at the natural. But DTs, they go in and they go for the tank. They go for the army. Tank goes down. There's still no scan. Yeah, 0 scans. Yeah, 0 scans. Marines are falling. Missile target gets thrown down. Scan is almost ready. Still needs a couple of seconds. Oof, oh god. There's the first scan. 1 DT does waddle away. Turret will finish, but that's still going to be 15, 16 dead SCVs. Critical damage. There's still more Dark Templar. There's still no skin available. And the all-in's delayed. The all-in is delayed. The all-in is stifled. You might be looking at this and be like, oh, hey, it's a 2-base all-in. Do you really need SCVs? The answer is yes, right? You need to be able to facilitate and support the all-in, as has been heavily delayed. There's another scan. Curie moves out. And here he should be ready for this. He is warping in extra DTs. His main base is exposed. DTs are slipping to the main. Here comes that Doom Drop. Here is out of position. And it's all or nothing for Cure. Drops into the mineral line. herO trying to engage, trickling in with Zealots. Cure going for the Nexus. Does snipe the expansion. Does get the base, but honestly the base didn't really matter that much. herO, he was already getting a 4th. And you can see the disparity here. Cure, he has 36 SCVs. Barely a 2-base economy. Barely. Or just under, really. Now so we have DT's just parked outside. The Invisible Man is pretty good. They're pretty good. God. Yeah, just free damage on the army. There's still no scan. Yep, still no scan. We'll have one in a couple of seconds. There we go. 50 energy. Here's the scan. As dire as this is for Cure, he still has a massive army. In a head-on fight, he might still take this. Might still take this. So if a massive Doom Drop making his way into the main. Stalkers are in position. Uh-oh. Stalkers are ready. But I say boost in. And, oh, they will unload. Okay, they get past the Stalkers. Forcing a recall. But the armor was in position. Stalkers, they dive on. Yeah, they dive on in. And Curie's gonna lose everything. Yeah, he will lose everything in the main. As more Zealots are pushing forward. And Cure did not have enough. But this does at least escape with his 5 medevacs. Does get away. If you're wondering why is this so close, the gases are very late here for herO. The tech is delayed as well. So Cure's army is still holding its own. No. A little bit inattentive. And bleeds out too many Marines. Dropping the main base is being cleaned up. herO, he defends. He defends the main. He defends on the front lines as well. And Cure, he has nothing left. GG gets called. herO, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. He will claim the series. Again, Cure, he had a little potential with this 2-base all-in, but the Invisible Man, the DTs did so much damage, delaying the push, killing 16 SCVs, even sniping a tank, sniping some bio units as well, and just crippling and hindering Cure's all-in before it could really move out. He still had a massive army, and he was still somewhat trading well, but he had no economy behind it. He had 36 SCVs. He couldn't sustain himself, could not get into a longer game. The longer the game went on, the easier it became for herO. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. herO does advance on into the grand finals, and we do have our 2 finalists ready for us. Here we go. Let us switch our scenes over. and catch up on the bracket again. Clem has been patiently waiting. Clem took down a Solar 3-1, took down Shameless 2-0, and Clem has been waiting in the grand finals. Meanwhile, herO took down Young Yakov, herO took down Cure 3-1, and now it's going to be Clem versus herO in a TVP best of 5 grand finals. Let's go. The grand finals are upon us. We are going to be cutting to a short break. We're going to be cutting to a short break here, and when we come back, we'll have those grand finals. We'll have that TVP ready for you. Again, herO and Clem, they are the best Terran and Protoss players in the world, respectively. They're the best in the world, and they face off quite often. They often go back and forth in series because they play so often in these open tournaments. One week it can go Clem's way, the other week can go herO's way. Could go either way here. We're here to find out. We're here to find out for PiGosaur Cup number 63. For now, though, enjoy the break. Enjoy the break. Enjoy the brutal OST. Get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll be back soon with those finals. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we returned. We've returned here with the grand finals of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 63. Again, a weekly open tournament where we often do see players from the European, Americas, and Korean region facing off against each other. And this is no rare sight to see these two players facing off in the finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Clem and herO. Now, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to K-Store TV in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime for 8 months. For 8 months. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as we are getting ready for those finals. Again, herO and Clem, they are very often seen in said finals of these events, whether it's the Wardy TV Monday, whether it's the Monday Night Weekly, whether it's PiGosaur Cups, whether it's KSL. Online events are no strangers to Clem and herO, and they often go back and forth for good reason. You know, Clem being, I would say, the best Terran player in the world, herO being the best Protoss in the world, they do often face off. They often do trade blow for blow. I want to say that I lean towards Clem here. I feel like, especially in recent months, we've seen that Classic has been kind of like the kryptonite for Clem. Like, Classic has had a lot of really big wins, a lot of really big results over Clem, more so than some of the other Protoss players specifically. But we'll see. We'll see if herO can hold his own. We'll see if Clem can bring him down. Let's go. As we're going to be loading into game 1, going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Oh, the TVPs. I just realized. We've been casting nothing but TVP today. Let's go. That will continue until tonight as well, by the way. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Go. As we're getting into our TVP, getting into our best of 5, I meant to say, best of 5 grand finals, and we'll see how our players will adjust. So coming into this, when it comes to TVP, we have been seeing a lot of aggression, especially on these smaller maps. Welcome to Ruby Rock. If you recall, Cure attempted to 2-base all in on this map, and herO was able to scout, confirm, and shut him down with DTs with those Dark Templar. This time, we'll see how Clem will adjust. We'll see how Clem will approach. We'll see if he also goes for 2-base all-ins, if he goes for hyper-aggression, or if he plays into the mid-game. So far, economic start. So far, so good. Does open up with a single gas geyser. I say it's the trend will continue into this evening's broadcast as well, because if you recall, we are going to be casting, or we might be casting, the herO Cup finals. I say might be just because the time slot might be a little bit iffy when it comes to when it's going to be available. But this evening is going to be the grand finals for herO Cup, and that's also a best of 7 between herO and herO. herO did make it to the finals there, herO also as well. So more TVPs, nothing but TVP today. Let's go. It is the matchup right now. Feels Zerg, man. So now we do have our, again, standard opener, just Rax Expand. Reaper is on the way. Here he does go Zealot first to attempt to disrupt the CC. So we do have an aggressive follow-up. Zealot is waddling across the map. The Adept is being chronoed. Here he's moving out to delay that command center. As Zealot does poke in. Bunker is almost done. We do see Clem is in position, and Clem so far, he holds well. Deflects the Zealots. Bunker's ready. Adept can try to shake past the bunker. And looks like he will. He does shake past. Gets one, gets 2 shots off. The CC does complete, even saving the SCV. Very nice save there by Clem. And Clem holds. Clem, he holds well. Hunting down the Adept. Second Adept has arrived. And will delay mining. Okay. Desolate mining, sniping another marine. Still no mining at the natural. And we do have a bit of a back and forth. At the same time, here he commits. He commits to the proxy, going into a proxy dark shrine. I mean, we saw DTs earlier against Kira on this very map, and now we see a proxy DTs even faster than previously. Now, bringing up this kind of matchup and this kind of dynamic, when it comes to TVP, this can end the game straight up. This can just kill. This can just kill if Clem mules. If he mules too hard, if he mules too much, if he does not have a skin available to him, then he could just topple over. We're gambling quite a bit here. The gamba, baby, the gamba. Clem, he does boost across the map. Dark Templar warping in. This tells me that the defenses back at home are weakened. It means that we have less to work with. Only two Stalkers, late blink. Two more Stalkers warping in. And Clem will kill one. Does get one Stalker. Nice time for the medevac. Oh, the surround! Oh my god! You hear it does surround. He shuts down the army. Helis head into the mineral line. Probes are falling. And here come the DTs. So far, one scan. This is about to be one scan in the main. Needs a couple of seconds. Oh my god. Massive shots going off. That's going to be 9 dead probes. 10 probes go down. DT does get in, but there's about to be a scan in 1 second. Yeah, Clem, he has that scan. Marines are amassing. Raven is on the way as well. And this is nice damage here for the Dark Templar. If only herO didn't just lose 10 probes. If only 10 probes didn't go down. The Raven is out. Doesn't even need to spend a scan. Second DT into the natural. Gets one more SCV. herO even rallying. Okay, kills a bunker. Getting what he can. As he was trying to be cheeky, but Clemmy spots him. Okay, he does spot him. Catching out the Dark Templar. And as it settles here, he lost 10 probes. He lost 10 probes. He was able to kill 7 SCVs, so we did have a bit of a back and forth. When it comes to the army trade, slightly in favor of herO. And the game will continue. The game will continue here. Settling into a longer game, I do favor Clem just because he does have his 2 base setup. The 3rd base for herO is very late, very delayed. So late third expansion. herO setting up for earlier storm. It's one of the reasons why the 3rd was so late. And we'll see if herO can hold on. So herO from here, slowly getting his 3rd base up and running, building up towards Storm. 3rd CC is on the way for Clem. We're building up into the mid game. But once again, Clem has a lead. He has an advantage getting into the mid game. That's why we have that supply disparity. We have that worker advantage for Clem as well. The pressure's on herO to try to get some backstab or try to get some counter damage. Whether it's a Zealot run by, Blink drop into the bases, War Prism harass. Pressure's on herO. Clem does move out to expand. herO can't really engage. Now, due to the early storm, he does have these 3 High Templar. He has 3 storms available. He's going to be so careful with them. herO setting up for a flank. Gee, a 5 High Templar. Okay, that's a lot of storms. 6 Templar. They get spotted. Oh, tank on sieged. Nice snipe. 1 tank goes down. Yeah, and Clem gets caught off guard. He gets caught off guard. As one storm does land. And here he does keep chasing. Does give chase, going for the second tank. And he barely doesn't get it. And I save on the tank. Oh my god. Brutal storms. hero's gonna commit. Storms everything. Yeah, the final tank goes down. Marines, they just crumble to the storms. The storms are crazy, but barely not enough. He had storms, but not much else. Oh. Just waiting for those charge slots. But again, decent fight here by herO. He caught out both tanks. He caught out the army. herO now has momentum. And he might just break the third. Again, there's no defensive setup here. Just the army. Zealots make their way into the mineral line. One at a time, gets sniped. There's still another storm. There's storm for now just zoning. More High Templar trickling in. Jesus, so many storms. Oof. Storming on the SCVs. And there's going to be 15 dead SCVs. There's still one storm left. Does zone away. And herO escapes. herO does escape. I'm feeling frustrated. Yeah, he does want to make use of this army. Does catch out herO. He does pull back. Does pull back in time. We have 3 more Head Templar. Soon to be 3 more storms. Yes, once again, the storm does land. And he's just taking the storms to the face. And as he goes for the Doom Drop, we're going for a base trade. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. Clem, he's denied. He's deflected from the main. At the same time, herO does strike the third. Deny more mining, but he doesn't kill anything major. It just gets 3 SCVs. So no major damage. Drops are getting caught out. Messy trade for herO. Getting messy. herO cleans up the army, but he does lose 4 High Templar. I guess 2. 1 more since with the Archon. But again, we are getting messy. herO has taken the lead, though. He's getting a 4th base. He was able to kill enough SCVs. Oh, SCP and the Archons. Ghosts have arrived. I'm still pushing forward. Colossus is still on the way. herO needs a little bit more time. And Clem, he does try to get in, but good reaction so far by herO. Pulls away the probes, and he's just buying time for the Colossus. Even catching out 2 ghosts. Oh my god. Yeah, 2 ghosts go down. A storm lands. Massive storm on the army. Again, we've seen so many juicy connections with these storms this game. Clem just takes him to the face. And now the Colossi have arrived. Up until this point, Clem had momentum. He could try to force his way in and push his way into the 4th base, the main, go for the drops. But now in a head-on fight, there's no answer to the Colossus. There's no Vikings. There are no Vikings, not yet. Clem has been hyper-fixated on the ghosts. Colossus, they now reveal themselves. Oof. Yeah, the Colossi revealed. Ghosts are going down, and hero's going for the kill. GG gets called. herO takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very chaotic back and forth between both herO and Clem. herO, I was criticizing him by rushing into High Templar, rushing into Storm, delaying his 3rd base, but it was worth it. It was well worth it. We saw so many brutal storms on the army. Storms on the army, storms in the mineral line. There were, what, 6 High Templar at one point, 6 storms, and the storms, they were connecting. They were providing so much value. And we saw Clem struggling against that higher High Templar count. And Clem was forced to go into Ghosts as a result, and we saw that because he was so far behind, he was 1 step behind in regards to tech. herO able to get into his Colossus and close it out from there, as Clem was woefully underprepared for the Colossus. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game 2, and herO, he takes the lead in the series. We'll see if he can extend that lead. We'll see if Clem can bounce back, as for the first time in a long time, we're loading into Mothership. It's been a while. It's been like a week, a couple of weeks. Jesus. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Mothership, we have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom side. The bottom side here of Mothership, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself. Representing T1, it is herO. Go. Here we go, as we're getting into game number 2 here. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a rare sight, I will say. Like, we cast StarCraft quite a lot here on this channel on a daily basis, and yeah, I can't quite recall. It's been a couple of weeks since we last embraced Mothership. It's one of the larger maps in the map pool. 3-player spawn map often is vetoed. There is, of course, that RNG factor, but also it's just such a large map as well. I often don't see a lot of TVPs here because of how easy it is for the Protoss player to actually gain map control. Hello, herO. As the probe moves out, and are we proxying? Oh, no, we're scouting. Okay. Does move out to scouts. Does move out towards the left-hand side. And will eventually find Clem. Meanwhile, double gas. Okay, double gas open out to Clem, going for a faster factory. Faster tech. Clem already does mix things up. Here we go. Here we go. From here, again, here he does hide his probe, going in for a bit of a later scout, waiting for the Reapers to move out. Factories on the way, again, double gas opener into a delayed TC. From here, we'll see if we go into Reaper Hellion, if we go into committed mine drops, if we go into earlier cyclones, early tank push. We'll see. Where are we headed? Here says of the proxy. Premier can reinforce. He is getting into a 3-gate setup. Oh, hyper aggression out of herO. Okay, so basically what's happening here is that herO delays his Twilight Council. His tech, specifically. His tech is going to be heavily delayed in favor of a 2nd and a 3rd gateway. This tells me that herO needs to do damage early on. If he fails to do damage, he will fall behind. Just because of how late his upgrades and tech is going to be. Reaper Hellion pokes in. There is an opening. There is an opening here. Takes down one of the adepts. Gets the adepts, takes down one of the probes, dives into the main base, and we get a full scout of the main as well. Ay. And Clem, he sees nothing, which is a big tell. There should be a Twilight Council. Yeah, there should be a council. He sees the lack of tech. A lack of production. Yep, he confirms. Back on him, we should be setting up. There we go. Bunker on the high ground. Nice read here by Clem. He sees everything. He sees all. He knows all. Here come the warp-ins. Clem, he's ready to just give up on the natural. Ooh, and he gets 11? Oh, God. 11 probes go down. This is game ending. This is too much. 11, 12 probe kills. He's still not done. 13 probes go down. Stalkers, they hit the natural. But remember, Clem, he's ready in the main. And pulls away to the winter mine. And he was all in. Here he has to commit. Bunker's almost done. Misclick there by herO. I mean, herO still has a lot of army to work with. True. And Clem, he has to buy time for his tank. So buy time. Popping a micro, saving the marine. The micro, the kill. Oh my, the juggling back. Juggling is crazy. He takes out one of the stalkers. The tank has arrived. And the boys are being pulled. Can he save the tank? He can. Tank shots go off. Stalkers get punished. And herO back in him, he's slowly recovering, but it's still a slow process. He has a ways to go. ways to go. Does take down one of the tanks. Oof. Stalkers get punished. But they do get caught out. And so far, this has not been worth it for herO. Remember, it's so delayed as the Twilight Council just now finishing up. No blink. herO, he had to do critical damage, and he fails to do so. Fails to do so here. A nice movement out of Clem, avoiding splash damage. Despite that, we'll still lose 8 SCVs. Okay. And went behind Dark Shrine. That makes sense. herO getting desperate. Going for the DTs. She does get 10 SCV, 11 SCVs in total. Jesus. 11 SCV kills, still warping in more adepts. Does get punished though, doesn't escape with a single one. And again, we're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. herO now takes a worker lead, but again, he's committing hard here with DTs. He's delaying his own upgrades. Getting into the Dark Templar. Dark Shrine is almost done. Clem, he is holding onto scans though. He's holding onto energy. Oh, he shades in! And that should not have happened. Clem does slip up. And herO, he's recovering. Gets 3, gets up to 4 more SCVs. And the target firing. 3 more SCV kills at the same time. Clem, he drops across the map. And Clem, did he scout the Dark Shrine? He did. Big scout. Clem, he sees, he knows. Will lose a full medevac. But now he will be intentionally, of course, holding onto those scans. He's got 2. He's got 1 scan in the main. He will soon have 1 scan at the natural. Dark Templar then now finally warping in, but so delayed. Yo, meanwhile, big shout to Krista. Big shout to Krista for Krista. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Thank you so much. Gracias. As we're here in the finals of PiGosaur Cup, we do have a best of 5 here between Clem and herO. Still early in the series, and it's getting messy. I would say that Clem is in a better position. It's been very shaky here. herO, he attempted to go for a proxy gateway into 3 gates. He failed to get damage done. herO, he lost a bunch of probes early on to Hellion Harass, and herO was desperate going into DTs, which so far have not paid for themselves. They've not paid for themselves, killing a bunker. Turrets are ready. herO doubling down, going into Shadow Stride, going into Blink. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. Oh. I mean, Blink has potential for sure. I mean, there's a chance. Now, something else that's going to be working in herO's favor here is the size of the map. It does take a long time to actually move out and get across the map, so herO, he has time to react, to respond. He is slowly saturating his 3rd base. Clem likewise building up his own 3rd as well. And Clem might actually not push. Like, there's a chance here that we just turtle up. That we just turtle up and get a 3rd, get a 4th, max out instead. Clem may take a slower approach. We'll see. Mass on Siege. Never mind. DT does roll into the mineral line. 4 SCVs, 5, 6, 7 SCV kills. Not bad. Another DT knocking down or trying to whittle away at the main army. Oh, we pull a couple. Never mind. We pull a couple of boys. Clem, he commits into a 2-base all in. He was getting a 3rd CC. He was expanding, but he does pull the boys. He doesn't even care. He sends it back. He wants to win the game, and you can see just how small the army is here for herO. How little he has to work with. Zealots trickle in. Tanks on Siege. 1 tank goes down. Yeah, 1 tank pulls, but only 1. And Clem, he snowballs out of control. Snowballs out of control. He breaks into the 3rd. GG gets called, and Clem, he will tie the series 1-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, just a very rocky start for herO. Winding it back here, remember, herO, he did go for the 3-gate opener, went for the proxy. As he was doing so, he lost 12 pros back at home. He lost so many workers to the Hellion Reaper harass, so he was crippled, which means he had to do damage, and he failed to get anything done because he got scouted. Clem was able to confirm that the Twilight Council was missing. He was able to get his bunker ready in the main base. He minimized losses back at home and snowballed from there. herO, in his desperation, did go into DTs, but he also got scouted there as well. The Dark Shrine was also seen, was also scouted, so Clem was ready for that, and yeah, just everything that herO attempted to throw at the wall didn't quite pan out. GG, well played. Even going into Shadow Stride towards the end, into Blink DTs, which again, they always have potential, but didn't really get much done. Killed what, 5 SCVs? 5 SCVs were killed. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 3. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. Will it go the way of the Terran or the Protoss? Clem or herO? Let's go. Let us go. We're spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. As we're tied up, we're getting into game 3. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, so plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. There's more StarCraft. I wonder if Clem playing Protoss makes his TV better. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does, just getting the perspective from the other side, being aware of like what can work, what doesn't work. I don't know how much it helps Clem specifically, just because like there are other ways he can get that information, right? Like he has teammates, like he's good friends with Skillers with Nikita. With Skillers, with Trigger. So like he already has like a social group around him where he has practice partners and he can get that information from them as well. But I'm sure it helps. I'm sure it helps. Yeah. As we are setting up. Welcome this time to White Rabbits, one of the larger maps of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by grounds. One of the differences here is that the bases are very spread out. They're a lot more spread out here. At least some of them are. We have seen Terran players successfully turtle up on 4 bases here, taking the forward base and taking the linear third as well. So we'll see how our players will adjust their approach. As Clem does go for an economic start. Economic start. Oh, okay, so we do have an economy opener into a tech lab. This should be for an add-on swap into early Cyclone. So a safer follow-up here by Clem. And there are different variations. You can go Marauder, you can go Cyclone, you can go Safety Bunker. But here, this should be an add-on swap. Yeah. Let's go for the swap. Cyclones all the way. This time herO going for a standard follow-up, going to his own Twilight Council. I bring this up, this is standard, but I bring it up just because last game herO's Twilight Council was heavily delayed because of his proxy. This time a standard follow-up, standard opener, standard build. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? I see a second Rax. Okay, so Clem, he throws down a second Rax early on. If he throws down a third Rax, this will be indicative of a heavy stim. I mean, it's already going to be indicative of early stim, early combat shields, a heavy bio setup, potentially a 2-base all-in. We'll keep an eye on him. And meanwhile, herO not opening a blink. Okay, you have my attention. Early charge, not early blink. Extra gateways are being thrown down. Now, typically, when you open up charge like this, you are looking to hard counter an aggressive Terran player. Early charge timings and early charge builds are built to completely hard counter and shut down tank all-ins. Like a bio tank all-in on 2 bases. If you move out across the map, if you run into a wall of zealots, then the Protoss player will have a much easier time cleaning you up as opposed to a blink-based opener instead. As here he gets across the map, here he scouts, he confirms 3 Raxes. So he does confirm that a sim timing is coming his way. Should be building a mass bio. Stim, combat shields. Oh, and herO 3 games in a row. If you weren't here for game 1, you might not know this, but in game 1, herO proxied his Dark Shrine. Here we have another Dark Shrine on the way. 3 games in a row going into DTs. herO. Now, I do actually really like this against Clem's build specifically. I feel like this is a reaction. We spoke about this in game 1, if you recall. But Clem, he's going into a 3-1-1 setup here. He's going into delayed starport, into delayed medevacs, I should say, into a heavier stim army. So there's no Raven this time, right? There is no Raven for Clem. Likewise, limited scans as well, because he's going for a late 3rd CC, if not just a 2-base all-in. So he's going to be muling even harder. So a lot of mules here for Clem. No Raven is ideal. The environment here is ideal for DTs. Hallucination confirms there is a starport. There's the added swap into reactor to medevacs. Dark Shrine is almost done. Unfortunately, though, for herO, there's no proxy. There's no pylons, so warp-ins are going to be delayed. Has to warp in back at home and walk across the map. And a lot of this comes down to the scan. Does Clem hold on to a scan? Shadow Strike, he's just going straight into Blink. God damn it. Okay, so we have Blink on the way for the Dark Templar. Warping in 3. He's waddling across the map. Charge is revealed. Clem now knows. As he gets 1, soon to be 2 zealots. Oh no, he reveals the DTs. Yeah, it does reveal them early on. There's the first scan. herO, he fails to get into the mineral line, and Clem was going for a 2-base all-in. He was pulling the boys. God damn it. So Clem, he was going for the 2-base all-in, he was pulling the boys. Now he's going to be forced back home. Turrets are being thrown down. And it does have that scan. And now we're in a really awkward position here. On the one hand, yes, the DTs are seen and they don't really get that much damage done. That is true. On the other hand, the all-in is denied. Right? Again, like Clem is going for the all-in, and there are so many Dark Templar. Oh my god. There's another scan. Here he pulls out of range. There's soon to be 1 more scan available. Yep, 1 more. But again, here's follow-up is... Sorry, Clem's follow-up isn't really there. So we're getting messy. We're getting messy. DTs, they get across the map. They knock down the depot. They bust into the main. At the same time, Clem pushing towards the 4th. DTs, they blink away. Oh, God. They blink out of range of the scan. True. Blink out of range. 4th base is going to be cancelled. Cancels the 4th. Marines, they dropped in. 7 pros went down. But herO, he will clean this up. He will defend. Those DTs, they still find some more damage. And there's still no scan. herO just being so annoying with his blink DTs. Oh, good. Oh, blinks away again. He blinks away. The Invisible Man, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Oof. Meanwhile, hero's gain map control. He re-expands, reclaiming his 4th base. The DT killed the depot, now killing an add-on. Still gaining more value. Clem, he just moved out. No, he just moved out. As he moves out, he moves in. There's nothing. Yeah, there's just barely anything to defend. GG gets called. Clem is out of position. And herO, he takes the lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very messy game. Very, very messy here. Winding it back, what happened? Well, Clem, he went for a 2-base all-in. He went for a 2-base all-in. He went for a fast 3rd Rex into a later starport, into a 2-base all-in where he pulled the boys blindly, if you remember. Sorry, not blindly. Sorry, he was blindly going for a 2-base all-in. Meanwhile, herO, if you remember, he scouted early. He scouted with hallucination early on the extra Rexes, so he knew that it was going to be very committed. His reaction was to go into a Dark Shrine. DTs work better here against these heavy 2-base builds because scans are limited, so it made sense as a reaction. But herO did something different though. He committed even harder, rushing straight into Blink, which was crazy. You don't often see that. So there was a unique twist here to his reaction. which was rushing into Blink. I was concerned by herO's initial response where he engaged with the army and revealed his DTs early in the game, and his DTs got shut down very early on as a result of that. But that was also in the midst of Clem pulling the boys, so he wasn't really set up for a longer game. He wasn't set up for additional production or upgrades or a third expansion either. So things started getting really messy here, where Clem, he was denied the 2-base all-in, he had to pull back to mining, he had to get his turrets up and running, and the DTs with Blink, they actually did so well for themselves. It's so annoying. Every time there was a scan, herO blinked away. He blinked away, and there were limited scans because it was initially a 2-base all-in. Like, there wasn't a third CC. Scans were very limited, and they gained value over time. Likewise, Clem tried to be active, but herO was ready. GG. It was like it was messy, man. It was messy, but GG well played. herO does claim it. Again, herO, he thrives in the chaos. He thrives in these more like down, dirty, and messy games. And with that, we're loading into game number 4, potentially the final game of the series. herO needs one more win here to claim the series. Clem has to fight back herO now to force the ace match. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the French Terran player, we have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And I feel like last game is a good example of how herO finds a lot of success, or why he finds a lot of success in StarCraft. Even though I would say, I stand by the fact that Clem is the best Terran player in the world, herO is the best Protoss in the world, but no one else plays quite like herO, right? Like, who else goes DTs into Blink immediately as a response to 3-backs, right? Like, no, like MaxPax doesn't do that, Classic doesn't do that. It's just not something that many of the other Protoss players are quite like. So it's one of those things where even if you're well versed in TVP, are you well versed in TV herO? He's an animal. He's an animal, and that applies to his PVC as well, right? Against Zerg, he's also very chaotic. That's why Cyril recently has been having a harder time against herO. True. I should also say though that it also explains why herO is very like swingy in his play. As much as I want to praise like his ingenuity or his crazy like approach to a lot of games and his ability to think outside the box, it's very extreme, and because that we often see a lot of extreme results where, I'm sure you know this, but like herO, he can pop off and be the best player in the world, and then he goes down early in the next tournaments, right? Typically because he gambles a lot, right? Like that's the thing, where he takes a lot of risks, takes a lot of chances. Sometimes they work really well, sometimes he falls on his face. Like which is what's fun to watch about herO. That's the fun thing about herO, is that like he can spike really high, but the lows can also be quite low, right? Like you can see like a PVZ where like, oh, the wall's open, Lings they flood in, they kill everything, or the wall's open and herO, he warps in time, he reacts, he doesn't lose anything, right? Like it's very dependent on like his form at the time, at his play, his reactions. The highs are high and the lows are low for herO. Ah. But let's go. Let us go. As Clem does go for a double gas opener, double gas, fast refractory, delayed CC at a Clem. Opening up Reaper Hellion. Let's open up Reaper Hellion. At the same time, Twilight Council opener out of herO. No proxy. Standard setup. Assuming he goes into Blink. We did see it charge last game, of course. True. Now, with Clem committing Disheartened to Reaper Hellion, the goal here is economic damage. The initial probe scout is going to be shut down, and we'll see if Clem can get into a mineral line. So now he's checking, scouting, don't blame him, checking for proxy pylons, proxy stargates, gateways, before meeting up. He's got his triple Reaper, double Hellion. It is a 1-1-1 follow-up, so a standard follow-up here by Clem. Diving into the natural. Oh! Is going to be denied, is going to be deflected. So far, nice defense out of herO. So far, so good. And if Clem fails to get into a mineral line, it's going to be a worse start for the Terran. Again, this Reaper Heli that he invested into, this doesn't really scale well into a longer game. And so far, hasn't really been quite worth it. So far. Meanwhile, how many gateways? It's going to be Blink. Blink is on the way. 2 gates are being thrown down. 3 gate Blink out of herO. So far, a standard setup. We'll see if he goes for another gateway. Does he build up into 4? He's ahead in the series. He does have a little bit of freedom to do so. Wouldn't mind drop towards the natural. Just the 1 mine. Does slip in. herO pulls away. Nice retargeting. Gets a Stalker. Not bad. Stalker goes down. Reaper Heli does go for the dive. Clem does see an opening, and he does dive into the main. You're rushing straight into the main base instead. But there is a shield battery. Despite that, gets 1 more probe. And 1, 2, 3 probes going down. Not bad. And this should not have happened. This should not have happened. 5 probes go down. 6 probe kills even. Can we get up to 8? 9. Oh my god, 9 probes? Jesus. 9 probes go down, and what was initially a good defense out of herO, it all falls apart. It all falls apart. Here he was distracted by the Widow Mine. There was an opening, went straight into the main base. 9 probes went down despite the shield battery, and herO does fall behind. herO falls behind. The pressure's on. He has to counterattack. You can see he's rushing across the map. Back at home, what is it to defend? 2 tanks. No bunker. No bunker, but both tanks are here. The boys are being... Oh my god, he's crazy. Clem, he commits. Yeah, he punishes the Blink. The Stalkers, they blink on forward. Every Stalker should be punished. Gets 1 tank. That was a crazy blink out of herO. He blinked into the army, but he's crazy. Oof. Yeah, bleeding out how many? 6 Stalkers. 6 Stalkers go down. herO trying to delay. Picking up 1, 2, 3 Marines. Delaying the push and giving herO more time. He's getting more time. Shield batteries are on the way. Extra Stalkers. Immortal production as well. And Clem, it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. The Observer does confirm the boys being pulled. herO, he does intercept. And the boys are going down ahead of time. Oof. We lose the Stalker. But I'm not so sure. I don't know if I have faith in this all in. Clem is moving in. He's pushing forward. Charge is not yet done. True, the tanks again within range. And the boys are being pulled. Nice time with the Immortal. The Immortal goes down. And down goes the Immortal, but there's only 1 tank left. And herO will clean up. Yeah, he cleans this up. Coming in from behind as well. herO, he defends. He cleans up all the tanks, cleans up the Marines. Does blink away. Yeah, it blinks away in time, and the Clem will lose everything. It's going to be 14 dead SCVs. At the same time, herO did lose 15 probes, true. Both players are hurting. We're getting messy. We're getting messy. Back. Oh, as Clem does rally. Got to be careful. He's got to be careful here. As Clem pulls away with the tank. Stim is done. Getting into combat shields. As the dust settles, Clem does have the better economy. True, he has mules, right? He throws down 4 mules as we speak. 3rd base is late for herO. Despite the failed all-in, Clem may have done enough damage. Oh, a crazy blink. Gets him Marauder, bleeds out 2 Stalkers. Observer gets caught out, no high ground vision. And thank God, actually here he might dive in. Yeah, he's going for it. Doesn't quite. Doesn't quite go for the dive. But I'm sure he's tempted. 3rd base gets thrown down. Storm is on the way. We saw this in game 1. herO rushing into Storm. I want to say we saw this against herO, against KuRo, if I recall correctly. Nice catch on the Immortal, very nice. Immortal gets caught out. Clem diving on the 3rd base. Can he force a cancel? Not quite. And not enough DPS. Hero bleeds out one of the Stalkers. Clem once again rallying. And I believe here he fails to scout the rally. Remember, the Observer got sniped. Observer did get sniped. There are how many High Templar? There's 5. Oof. 5 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. Storm is done in 10 seconds. Oh, the Prism! Oh no! Jesus. Calm down. Calm down. The Prism will fall. Storm finishes. 1 High Templar goes down. There's the first Storm. First Storm does crazy armor. We have 2 more Storms coming in. Here he doesn't want to waste them. First, the Storm mainly zones away. And here he needs a little bit more time. He's about to have 1 Storm. Clem, he's doing it. He's breaking the expansion. He's within range. Nexus goes down. Hero stuck on 2 bases. Clem goes to the dive. Oh god, that Storm was brutal. A massive Storm on the Marines. He gets the damage he was hoping for. Kills the 3rd, trades well against a High Templar. Clem's going to make a choice. Does he expand or does he still commit? He's getting a 3rd. He's getting a 3rd base. It does beat out that tank though. Nice target firing at a Clem. Punishing the Stalkers. He wants that Immortal. He gets it. Oh, gets a High Templar as well. The High Templar goes down. Barely doesn't get the Immortal. Barely does. And Clem, he's done it. Clem, he's trading so well here. And behind this, Clem is getting a 3rd base fully operational. Clem is getting further ahead. Now trading the army. Catching out more Stalkers. And even if Clem doesn't kill here, he's going to be able to outscale. He can just outscale, build up more Marauders, more Ghosts. Hero's 3rd base is so heavily delayed. He lost it twice. Also once, really. Here he just needs more time and needs more breathing room. Needs room to breathe. And goes for the Nexus. Clem is overextending a little bit here. Has to be careful. I'm breaking in. Again, playing with fire. As here, he's got plenty of Storms through the Prism. Oh my god. As EMP on the War Prism. Does zone away. Remember, the supply disparity is getting higher and higher due to the 3rd base of Clem. Due to the better economy. And here he's still trading water. Still trading water here. 4th command center for Clem before Hero gets down his own 4th base. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Clem still with a massive lead. 4th base just now begins. Clem is rotating over to try to deny. Distracting at the natural. Clem distraction, Clemmy dives. There's a stim. And there's a cancel. There's that cancel. Here he just cannot expand. He can't do it. Now, what Hero does have is a lot of Storms. True. Like, he could still win a main army fight, a main army engage. He does have 5 High Templar. He's holding on to 5 Storms. Nice drop into the 3rd base. Jesus, does focus on as many purposes as possible. And Hero's all in. Yeah, Hero's all in. It's all or nothing. Storm in the main army. Not bad. Does land a couple of Storms at the same time, though. Clem comes in from behind. Yeah, catching out a High Templar. The Immortals as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Hero out of position. He gets surrounded, and Hero's going to lose everything. The Archons, the Immortals, the High Templar, all the high-tech units. And we are going to the ace match. We're going to Game 5. It's happening, back. Oh my god. As again here, he just cannot keep up with the greater economy of Clem. We spoke about it earlier, but Clem got his 3rd base. He established his 3rd before Hero. That translates into double the army supply. herO down to a handful of soldiers. GG gets called, and Clem ties up the series. We are tied up 2-2. We're going all the way to game 5. Let's go. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to game 5 again. Once again, a very messy game here with Clem committing into hyper aggression. We had herO likewise barely defending and barely holding on, but at a cost. It cost him stalkers, it cost him probes. Remember, Clem pulled the boys. He lost also 15 SCVs, but herO lost 12 probes in the defense, and he was also stuck on 2 bases, right? herO, he was stuck on a very low base, kind of very low economy. Clem, he wasn't able to kill herO with his all-in, but he was able to cripple. He did enough damage to give himself a lead. So Clem, he took a lead. He was ahead after the initial aggression, and from there that translated into a greater army, better upgrades, and of course a faster third base. GG, well played. Whew, but again, very messy, very very intense, maybe a better way of putting it. Very intense, very clutch. As we're getting into the ace match, here we go. We're going to be loading into game number 5. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, the South Korean Protoss representing team T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the French Terran representing team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Aye. But again, very clutch, very intense. That leads us here into the ace match. That leads into game number 5. And Esther Sig in the chat. Don't stay up too late, papi. Don't stay up too late. But good to see you. Good to see you. Bienvenidos. Hope you're doing well, papi. Hope you're doing well. As Clem, he does hide his SCV. Does keep it hidden from the scouting probe. And with us, we can go in for an eBay block. Or something more sinister, but it should be an eBay block, which we have yet to see this series. True, we've yet to see it. SCV moves in, and we'll see if herO does scout the low ground. Otherwise, he'll be forced to expand at the unnatural natural. Uh-oh. Yeah, the eBay's on the way. There's going to be plenty of progression. Late vision, late scouting out of herO. Aye. And you can see Clem, he's gonna be denying that third base location as well, forcing the linear third out of herO. Aye. There it is, the unnatural natural, baby. Let's go. So again, because of the later scouts, herO, he could not pull the boys in time to deny this eBay, to disrupt. So herO forced to expand at the third location instead, and this will be forcing herO in an awkward position. Now he has to defend his main base and his natural with a massive gap in between. So trying to reinforce and trying to rotate can be quite difficult here for the defending Protoss player. On top of that, welcome to Tourmaline. If you recall, Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is favored here, and we could see Clem go into a 2-base all-in to punish the position of herO. Oh boy. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll see. But now the Reaper does poke in. We'll see if herO opens up Stargate or Twilight Council. Getting a safety shield battery. He has to. As Clem is on patrol. Able to catch any stray workers. Not quite able to. Behind this is building up his CC. It was a CC before factory, bear that in mind. Not as aggressive. There are some players that go into a faster factory, add on swap into reactor Hellion, and just rush Hellions across the map. That can work. But here Clem just settling into his own 1-1-1. It's going to hero pokes out. Behind this, we do have extra gateways on the way. It does make sense just to be safe. So far, 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink out of hero. And we do have a bit of a lull here early on. Yes, hero, he was forced into an awkward position. But for now, we're just building up on 2 bases. We're setting up here for the mid game. We're getting there. That's still a little movement, of course. Still a little positioning. Hellion looking to find a way in. And he does get a probe. Let's pick up a probe. And from here, we're kind of waiting to see any kind of signs of aggression. As you can see here, we're going for tank production. There's the add-on swap to get into Stim. So 3-rack setup. Stim is on the way. And I believe until Stim finishes, Clem should be stuck at home. Should be stuck at home. Waiting for his upgrades. Likewise, hero, he does get up to 3 gateways. He's going for his War Prism. Hero's going to be aggressive. Okay, he's moving out. Yeah, you can see the rally. He's rallying out with everything he has. Second bunker's on the way for Clem. His first tank is in the main, but no tank at the natural. Uh-oh. And hero, he's committing. Yeah, he's going to commit in. The upside distract. At the same time, going for the bunker. Where's the repair? It repairs a little bit late. Stalkers actually, they actually commit in. Uh-oh. Okay, he commits in, and with that, Clem will punish. He'll punish these Stalkers. Killing 1, 2 Stalkers go down. And that was not quite worth it here for hero. Did bleed out a lot of units. It was a questionable blink. It's questionable. Rotates to the main. Tank does punish. Clem defends. Oof. And hero cost him 3 Stalkers, 3 Adepts. He lost more workers to the counterattack as well. This aggression has not been worth it for hero. And behind this, rushing into Storm. Once again, headed towards Storm. Links in within range of the tanks. Kills a Marine. Once again, there no major damage. And Clem, he's not going for a 2-base move out. He still might, but he's getting a 3rd CC. 3rd CC is on the way, so Clem, he's slowly building up into the mid game. Clem is going to macro from here. I mean, he is ahead. I don't think there's too much pressure on him to move out. You just calm down. Just calm down, Bobby. Does move out as he moves down. You see here coming with a storm jump. Oh my god. Does come in. Picks up 6 SCVs, nothing major. Oh, if we come in too soon. It comes back too soon, losing up to 8 SCVs. That is some nice damage, but that also means that there's no defensive storm, at least not from those 2 High Templar. How many Templar are left? 3. Okay, 3 Templar left. There's going to be at least 3 storms. Cells collapsing on the tanks. Tanks do siege. It does siege up in time. Nice spread here by Clem. Shuts down the Zealots. But there's still 2 more Templar. There's still more storms. There's still more storms. Clem gets the hell out of here. Does preserve his tanks. True. He's hoping hero overextends. Hero coming in with a storm. Yeah, nice storm on the Marauders. Rules only 1 storm. He's able to hold on. He's holding on at the same time. He does peel off a couple of Marines, getting into the mineral line. Quick reactions out of hero. Hero's keeping up. Turns keeping up. Still quite tense here, but now we're able to get into our 3 bases. Third base is floating over for Clem, and now he can build up into the mid game. He's made it. At the same time, hero's 4th base is late. We should be seeing a 4th expansion soon. Clem's also looking for it. And speaking of, probe gets sniped. 4th base is late. And here we're switching to Colossi. So again, we're switching up that splash damage. We have Storms initially, now into Colossi. Second Robo. Hero once again moving out. Back at home, this area is just so open. And Hero, can he punish? Again, it can be so difficult being the defending player here on Tourmaline, but nice start here for Clem. Picks up, what, 3-4 Zealots. Punishes Hero. Very nice concave. Forcing out a Storm. And now we back off. Our players, they back off. We can see that Clem is slowly refining his army, building up into Ghosts. We have Ghosts on the way. We have additional Vikings. We should be seeing a second Starport and working towards Liberators as well. So Clem is gearing up. Also crucial here that he sets up his Sim City. CC here will help. So Clem moves out with the triple drop. This is risky. So Clem drops into the main. Hero not in position to counterattack. But even forcing a recall, not bad. Again, here he was setting up to harass, he was setting up for an attack. But now forced to recall back home, which means Clem, he can build up. And is about to max out. He's almost there. Players are maxing out. There's that second starport. I would imagine soon working towards a fusion core. Celts are being thrown away. I'm now getting a little bit concerned for Hero. Hero, he does have a lot of... He's very, very high Templar focused, or high Templar reliant. He's heavily reliant on those storms. Ooh, speaking of, storm does land. Shuts down one of the medevacs. The other two, they get away. Once again, they distract. There we go. Disruptors now on the way. That was my big concern here, is just a little bit too reliant on storms, so now we have disruptors. Here, he's getting there. Slowly working on that army. So is Clem. Hero's pushing through the center. Thankfully, the planetary is done. And Hero, can he break through? He's going for it. He does commit in. Storms into the mineral line, denying the repair. Planetary does go down. It does get the planetary. What about the main army? Yeah, Clem is going to chase. Does give chase. Nice EMP. No storms left. Uh oh. Yeah, we're running out of storms. Colossus gets sniped. And Clem, we just keep going. He can't just keep pushing. What do we have back at home? Again, did lose that CC. Clem pulling back. Behind this, again, there's only one High Templar. Okay, nice pickup. That's a kill, not a cancel. Snipes the Nexus. Clem pulls away. Again, I do feel like there was an opening here. Where are the disruptors? What? Looks like Hero may have canceled the disruptors instead. Yeah, they were never made. Going back into Colossus. Again, there's only 3 High Templar. And Clem, we didn't have a CC ready to replace. Once again, he is maxed out. herO going for the dive. Does trade okay if he can get out with those stalkers. He gets punished. Yeah, he gets punished, losing 1, 2, 3, 4, losing almost every single stalker. No, miscontrol. Yeah, move commands in, and here he'll lose everything. Every stalker goes down. That was not worth it. A couple of Zells slip by. That was an expensive trade here for herO, losing all those stalkers. And Army moves in. There is an opening. He gets a free tank. Again, Clem heals late to replace that planetary. Goes to coming in. Snipes on the High Templar. Gets all three. All three High Templar go down, and 0 storms left. No disruptors. Here he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away, bleeding out another Colossus. Colossus goes down. Once again, a better trade for Clem. And it's just been a really rough game here for herO. The last 2 big engagements have gone in favor of the Terran. But Clem, he goes for a drop. Clem, he does leave with most of his army. Uh-oh. Now is herO's time. Clem, he has like a third of his army back at home. But forces a recall. And it does force a recall. Kills the expansion. Clem does get away. And herO didn't punish. Here he wasn't able to punish. There was an opening. And here he's still stuck on a low base count. Just now getting a stick. Nice EMPs. EMPs like raise one of the High Templar. How many Speaking of no disruptors, we have 6 Colossus. Oh my god. Okay. Who needs disruptors? Mass Colossus moving in. How many Vikings do we have? At least 7. Okay. We have almost as many Colossus as there are Vikings. That's crazy. Clem now making 4 Vikings at a time. The lasers, pappy. Can herO pull this off? And the problem here is that once we build up a high enough Viking count, these Colossus are going to be dead supply. So massing out more Vikings, getting up to 10, soon to be 14 Vikings. Yeah, this is not the most efficient use of supply here for herO. It is concerning. EMP goes up. herO mass expanding. Again, these bases are so late. Yes, he is going for like this mass expansion, but he has no mining here. He's trying to take more bases. Just now getting a center right saturated. Here he needs saturation. Nice storm. Storm turns away. 1 Colossus goes down. There's 5 left. Colossus left. Meanwhile, we got 14 Vikings. I will say this fusion core is a little bit late here for Clem, so there's no switch into Liberators yet. It's delayed. So here he attempts to dive in. Nice storm of the Vikings, but another Colossus goes down to 4. Yeah, 4 Colossus left. Oof, brutal snipe. There's no storms. Yeah, no storms. No storms available here. Once again, a better trade for Clem. But here now he's accumulating that bank slowly. Still lacking gases, but he's getting there. Once again, does land those EMPs. herO down to 0 High Templar, 0 storms. And I'm just worried about the move out. I'm worried about when Clem finally breaks out from his contain. Clem does have the better army. Also collapsing in. 2 Novas are spent. Those are the only 2 Novas, by the way. Gotta be careful. Third disruptor has arrived. Clem peeling off, going for a drop. Unfortunately, there's not many workers here to deny. It's a kill. Once again, as Clem moves out, hero's moving in. Down goes the expansion. Hero commits. No major connection. Down goes one of the expansions. Yo, Clem is crazy. That confidence to just load up like this in the face of an army. I mean, it works. Hero backs off. Hero does rotate. Just rotate over. Novas go up. Grazing the army. Clem is keeping up, and Clem does take down another expansion. Now these bases are under threat. Clem is slowly building up those liberators. Oh. Using a ghost. And again, Clem, he hasn't really been able to push yet, but that should soon change. We have Liberators. Liberator production has finally begun. We now have advanced ballistics. Once he can build up those freedom zones, then he can take a better fight and start to push. Recalling bottom right. Bottom right, interesting. Oof. Those recall EMPs do land. Novas, they do not quite connect. I'll pick up. Very nice control by Clem. Yeah, he just punishes. Jesus. Just punishes the army, and here is just being outscaled. He's just being outscaled here over time. We brought this up during the Maru vs. Trigger series yesterday, if you recall. But again, like, being stuck here with a ground-based army, you will eventually be outscaled. Ideally, you do want to switch into Sky Toss, so you want to be, or you want to be more aggressive and more active and break some of these bases. But the reality is that Clem, he has not been stopped to expand. Like, his expansion has not been stopped. He's not getting a 5th, a 6th even. Getting a 6th base up and running. Here, he has not denied these expansions. So what has he achieved with this map control? Not enough. This style that Hero's working for can really work well if you contain the Terran. If Clem is fighting his heart out for his 4th expansion, for his 5th base, for his 6th base, then sure. But Clem has been freely expanding. Like, his bases they've been slowly building up. Hero has failed to deny. And we've reached a point where Clem has a bigger bank. Ooh. Clem has the bigger bank. Which is crazy in the TVP. Like, that should not be happening. No. Decent Storm. Storm pops up. The final Colossus is being hunted down. There's one Colossus left. Oh, can he get it? He does. Colossus goes down. Zealot Run by is dealt with. And yeah, again, Hero's just been outscaled. He's just been outscaled this game. He was unable to stop the expansions, unable to stop the growth of Clem. He couldn't stop him. Yeah, that's a lot of zealots. Now, this will force Clem back home. True. Does force him back. Planetary goes down. It does break through the mineral line. Finally, some damage. True. Okay, Hero. Can he pull this off? Kills the base, kills the mineral line. Can he find some more? Rotates to the south side, going for another expansion. The Novas are zoning. Novas are zoning away. Another planetary goes down. Finally, some damage. But is it too late? Because herO also lost 2 bases, right? He lost center right, he lost bottom right. Top left is now the most crucial mining base for herO. As he's mining out, right? He's mining out elsewhere. herO committing in, getting on top of the ghost. herO 0 detection. No. Nova doesn't connect. And he can't see the ghosts back. Yeah, he cannot see them. Clem, he double expands, retaking his bases. herO, he has no bank. He's burned through his bank. Clem still sitting on 1,000 gas. Scans top left. Liberators have arrived. They deny mining. Deny mining. Nice rotation out of herO. Brings down the planetary. At the same time, though, herO is also losing more bases. And herO, at this point, he barely has an economy. The Liberator's still alive. Oh no. No vision, thankfully. Has no vision. He won't drop into the main base. Clem, he retakes another expansion. Clem is still maxed out, and herO, he has no army. Like, he has no army in comparison to Clem. herO is down to 3 Immortals, down to 5 High Templar. Yo, let's go. Desperately trying to mine. Getting desperate. Dealing some decent storms here, but plenty of medevacs. We just tank the storms. Clem just keeps going. Oof, geez, these are pretty good storms though. Storms are pretty good. But ultimately only half the army. Clem gets across the map, takes down the most water mining base. Catching out 11 probes. Yeah, and again, that was the final High Templar. The final Templar, the final Storm does kill the CC. herO doing what he can. And again, over the past couple of minutes, he has been able to find some damage here, killing CC, orbitals, planetaries. The problem is that he hasn't been able to maintain his own, right? He hasn't retained his own expansions. herO, this is the economy. He's long distance mining. Like, this is it. Ah, no. He's got, what, 4 patches here in the center. He's got nothing left at the 3rd, nothing at the 4th. The long distance mining. Clem, he wants that Templar. Gets a snipe. No detection here for herO. That Ghost is on a mission. Jesus. GG gets called. There's nothing left for herO, and Clem, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming the PiGosaur Cup number 63 champion. GG. GG, well played. Again, a hyper-aggressive herO for the most part. Unfortunately, he failed to really deal any meaningful damage and break through the defensive setup of Clem. Clem was hyper-defensive this game. He did go for some drop play, which was very impressive and very bold and very risky, but for the most part, he was able to turtle up, defend his natural, slowly get his 3rd base, and slowly establish his center 4th expansion as well. Just to re-emphasize the style that herO was going for, being stuck on this very heavy gateway and rover-based composition, this heavy ground-based composition, it is on the Protoss player to rotate and to knock down bases, and to fight and deny the 4th and 5th base of the Terran as much as possible. Deny those bases, fight for them, make the turn work for them. Unfortunately, as we tried to emphasize, Clem quite freely was able to get his 4th, 5th, and even a 6th base up and running. Like, the bases were more or less untouched until the very end, so he was able to build up and accrue a larger bank than herO, and herO, he failed to achieve too much with his ground army. So he just got outscaled. It is crucial, it is imperative that the herO is able to deny those bases, otherwise the Terran player just snowballs out of control. I should also emphasize that if you do recognize you're failing to deny bases, if you recognize that the Terran player will get their 4th and 5th base, then that's typically when it's advised for the Protoss player to start to tech up into Skytoss, right? And we were praising Trigger of that. Trigger, I think it was game 1, Trigger versus Maru, where Trigger, he was so fast, so quick to throw down his Stargate. Once he realized what was going on, his Stargate, his Fleet Beacon, and switch into Tempest. It was a really nice timing, really nice moment there from Trigger in that series, but it's a hard call to make. It's a very hard call to make, especially because it's a much slower style, right? It doesn't feel good as a Protoss player to be like, oh, okay, I can't kill the Terran. I have to just slow things down and shift gears and get into Skytoss instead, into Tempest, a slower composition. A lot of players aren't really fond of it, and it's also very difficult to make that transition as well, which is why it has to be made a little bit early, right? It has to be decided on early on to actually kind of work out. But GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem, as Clem, he does weather the storm in more ways than one. He does bring down herO, able to again be hyper defensive, build up his army. I think what I was most impressed by Clem wasn't his defensive play, but his ability to, in the face of an army, load up 3, 4, 5 medevacs and drop, right? It is so risky to load up in such a way and to drop across the map. herO time and time again failed to scout these drops, failed to scout these rotations, and even though herO should have had map control and should have had a better economy, he didn't. herO, he never saturated bottom right, for example. Even center right, he struggled to saturate whenever he tried to expand. Clem was there to stop it, right? The Clem, he was able to drop across the map and knock down those bases. GG. So impressive play there by Clem. GG, well played. Congratulations. Clem takes down herO, and he is the PiGosaur Cup 63 champion. Congratulations. Very intense back and forth, and honestly could have gone either way. I always do appreciate whenever herO and Clem go to the ace match. Always do appreciate it. GG. Whew. Hi. GG, well played. More like outskilled. I mean, they went to the ace match, and again, we could have seen this go even herO's way as well. Finally, we saw herO knocking down bases towards the end, but he also felt pressured to do so, right? There's a little bit of a difference there, but herO, because he was losing bases, finally felt the pressure to actually rotate and be more active and more aggressive and commit into these planetaries, and it was working. Like, he was able to break through, but by then it was too late, right? By then it was too little too late. He himself was already struggling. GG. But with that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the morning, for the day. We do have some more StarCraft ahead of us. Here we go. Let us catch up on the bracket itself, and let's catch up on our schedule. Oh my god. Once again, that series went all the way to the ace match. Congratulations to Clem. Clem took down Shameless, took down Solar, and took down herO to become the champion. My condolences to herO. He took down Young Yakov and Kirib to fall to Clem in those finals. But no shame in that, of course. Clem is the best Terran player in the world. No shame. Meanwhile, when it comes to our weekly schedule here this evening, so this broadcast isn't actually on the schedule, but we just wrapped up our morning Saturday broadcast, and this evening is going to be Rongi Cup. Rongi Cup is going to be this evening. We should be able to cast it. I'm a little bit on the fence just because there's no set start time at the moment. What I mean by that, Rongi Cup has been running for the past couple of weeks. We already covered the group stage and the playoffs. Rongi Cup is going to be a best of 7 finals between Maru and herO. Maru and herO, they made it all the way to the finals. Again, herO's been winning everything as of late when it comes to premier events. herO, he won Thunderfire, he won... It was Thunderfire, the OSC Season 13 Championship, the RSL offline finals in December as well. So hero's been winning everything, and I would say he's also favored to win Rongi Cup as well. We'll see if Maru can hold his own. We'll see if Maru can keep up and stop that from happening. We'll see. But again, that is a $21,000 tournament. The finals are tonight. Best of 7 between herO and Maru is going to be tonight. But right, I was saying that I'm a little bit tentative whether or not we're going to cast it because the start time is technically after the Valorant finals. The Rongi Cup is a multi-esport event. There's a lot of esports at the event, a lot of different games, I should say, and the StarCraft finals will be taking place after the Valorant finals. So depending on how fast or how short the Valorant finals are going to be, that will determine the start time of the StarCraft finals. So yeah, if it's too late, I don't think I'll be able to cast. If it's a little bit earlier, then I will be able to cast. So it kind of depends on when it begins. does depend. So a little bit shaky about whether or not we cast it. I mean, if we don't cast it live, we'll cast it via replays, right? We'll do a replay cast after the fact. So one way or the other, we'll be able to cover it. One way. Ideally live, but we'll see. We shall see. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, herO Cup, that is meant to begin in around 8 hours. In around like 8 to 9 hours time, around then, like, estimated. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. With that, we're going to be wrapping up for the day, for the morning. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's have a look. Let us have a look here. Yo, Pili is live. Let's go. Pili. We got Pili. We got Snake Style. We got Dave. Nero is playing StarCraft. We got Nina. We got who else? El Chanchito. True. PiGosaur. We'll find someone to raid. Give him some love, give him some support, give him a chance. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Tomorrow we are scheduled to cover Thunderfire. The Thunderfire All-Star Invitational should also be tomorrow for us as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. See you then. See you soon. Till then, take care. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. Our events should be coming back next week. We did take a bit of a month off in January. Again, we were just busy with some IRL commitments, so we weren't able to cover much games and we weren't able to cast much. But coming to February and March, we should be back on track. Should be back. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. You can also support us on by following us. If you missed out on some of these games, if you missed out on the quarterfinals or semifinals of herO Cup, check it out on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao, bye. Or later on tonight. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time.